It's Friday, April 17th. Today, a race against time. The intensive work underway in Peguis First Nation as the community scrambles to get ahead of rising floodwaters. Also, a new toxic drug hits the streets of Winnipeg. Why naloxone doesn't work on it, and the desperate efforts underway to save lives. Plus, a bold new model for buying a home, how a 1% down payment is possible, and if it might work as a solution elsewhere. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's Friday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Terry's back as well in time to talk about the weather we woke up to this morning. But
seriously.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a sec. But first, let's talk about Tandy Vera. She's live at Polo Park this morning telling us about an event that's coming up. It's called Run Your Lungs Out. It's a fundraiser for Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation. So we're going to find out a little bit more about what that's all about. I think it probably has something to do with a treadmill. We're going to find out more. But
yeah, indoor running would be probably the best bet. It is icy out there this morning. Take that note. If you're planning on heading out, make sure you've got something super grippy on your feet and super grippy under the tires of your vehicles as well. My cab driver, he was the one that had all the work to do this morning because, of course, I was just a passenger princess on the way coming in. But it is very, very slick, and you can see that white. It's actually like a layer of like icy snow that we're seeing all over the streets this morning. And yes, freezing rain. Honestly, it was nasty. Okay, so -4, that's where we're sitting right now. That puts us well below seasonal with a north-northwest wind, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 94%. The way that snow was making all the noise this morning, the pelts of ice that were perhaps hitting the windows that maybe you heard. I know I was hearing, although I was already awake by then, thinking, oh, I can't believe I have to go out in this. I put the winter boots on, I put the winter jacket on, and honestly, not mad about that because it is, well, it's cool and below seasonal, but it's padded. And you need some padding the way this ice is coming down. Here's a look at the satellite image. You can see there's snow in there too, but we were right on the edge of all of that purpley stuff, and that's what was really aggressive. It could bruise you. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but still, I'm miserable about this. We'll deal with it through the morning hours, certainly. There into the afternoon, it's already moved up into much of central Manitoba and begins to taper off, except for areas off to the east. It will do a little bit of a wraparound, but I think the bulk of it will stay in areas just to the north of us and then clearing out. We're going to start to see an improvement in the conditions as early as, well, this afternoon, but more so by tomorrow and through the weekend. As far as an improvement with the temperatures, that's going to take some time because we got used to what those double digits felt like. What a tease. They will be back again, but not until the start of next week. So remaining below freezing for today, below seasonal through the weekend, and then finally next week, huge improvements on the way.
Thank you, Terry. Peguis First Nation is putting up an aggressive flood fight. The community is bracing for what is forecast to be a devastating spring flood. Thousands of sandbags are being filled and thrown. Even Premier Wab Canoe was there to help out Thursday. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, members of the community say this is the most prepared it's ever been.
Velma Sanderson's nephew's house already has a wall of sandbags around it.
We know it's coming, but, you know, like, this place always floods every year.
She's hoping that's enough to keep the floodwaters at bay.
I'd say it should be. Then again, I'm not sure.
There is a lot of activity on Peguis First Nation, which is prone to flooding after forecasters warned this spring could be as severe as 2022. Community members and volunteers are filling thousands of sandbags. Trucks are hauling them to needed homes and buildings. You can see them crisscrossing the First Nation. People here say this is the most preparation they've ever seen.
You usually start too late and it's already flooded there. Yeah. We're in the water.
Premier Wab Canoe was also here to lend a hand, as well as a crew from the Canadian Red Cross who are setting up a warming center.
So the community members and their volunteers and personnel could take a break while they're helping to protect their communities from the upcoming flood.
The province says evacuations could be necessary if roads get cut off, but in case of snap evacuations, tents and teepees are being set up inside Peguis's arena.
Just in case we have evacuees in the middle of the night, so they'll have somewhere to go and sleep, so it won't be so traumatic for the children and the families, and they could just all stay together in the tents.
Velma Sanderson hopes the effort will be enough for everyone to stay put and avoid being displaced again.
Rather be home. in the community with our people.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Peguis First Nation.
Meanwhile, Peguis First Nation Chief Thunderbird says evacuations could start this weekend. He says beginning that process sooner rather than later could help avoid the panic that has come with previous evacuations. Leaders are still figuring out where evacuees may be sent. More than 600 acres of wilderness in southeast Manitoba will be protected permanently thanks to a couple and their donation.
It is a conservation success story in Manitoba, and it was made possible by the family of William North.
Nature Conservancy Canada learned the property near the community of Elma was coming up for sale. After approaching the owners, the nonprofit says they agreed to sell them the land, and the couple donated a fifth of the property for free in honor of their late uncle, who once owned the land and loved nature.
Some stats about the property. The Monk Creek Peatlands property stores more than 340,000 tons of carbon. This is equivalent to the annual emissions of more than 380,000 passenger vehicles. So by conserving this land, it helps keep those greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere and supports a more stable climate for communities.
The nonprofit says protecting the land will also support the water quality of Monk Creek, which runs through the property and is home to an endangered species of fish. The Pope has made some strong comments about war, blasting world leaders who spend money on fighting.
They turn a blind eye to the fact that billions of dollars are spent on killing, on devastation, yet the resources needed for healing, education, and restoration nowhere to be found.
Speaking in Cameroon during a 10-day trip to Africa, Pope Leo went on to say that the world is being ravaged by a handful of tyrants. His comments come just days after a high-profile back and forth with U.S. President Donald Trump, who posted a lengthy attack on the Pope. President Trump also posted two images, one that appeared to depict him as Jesus and another of him with Jesus. Pope Leo is the first U.S.-born Pope. The Pope has also previously questioned the Trump administration's approach to immigration. A change could be coming to who can now be called a war veteran. A new bill has been tabled in the Senate that aims to expand the designation to include troops who served in Afghanistan and other recent military missions.
If you ask an Afghan veteran whether they were in a war, they will tell you people were shooting at them, trying to kill them, and some of them died in the process. Some of them were wounded in that process. How could that not be a war?
Senator Hassan Hussouf brought forward the legislation. More than 40,000 troops were part of this country's deployment in Afghanistan, the largest since the Second World War. But right now they are not considered war vets because that title is only for those who served in the First and Second World Wars or the Korean War. A Winnipeg institution is set to fire up its grill once again.
My dad and our extended family, that's where they got their start in the restaurant business.
And Peter Janakis tells CTV News his 87-year-old dad, John, is now back at Thunderbird restaurant, which he first opened with his brothers back in 1961. John was approached to provide guidance to the current ownership group after it bought the McPhillip Street Eatery last year. Janakis says a number of upgrades are currently underway.
We've given it a thorough, renovation inside. We've refreshed most of the surfaces. We've gone and replaced a lot of equipment.
Janakis says fans can expect a menu very similar to what Thunderbird traditionally offered, with all-day breakfast, hamburgers, hot dogs, and pots of fresh coffee. The diner plans to relaunch with a series of soft opening events for area businesses, with plans to fully reopen to the public in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers shored up their quarterback ranks Thursday with a very big signing. The Blue and Gold announced they've signed rookie Canadian QB Taylor Elgersma. The Bombers picked Elgersma in the second round of the 2025 CFL Canadian Draft. After a standout university career at Wilfrid Laurier, he was named the top player in youth sports football in 2024 after finishing the season with over 4,200 passing yards and 35 touchdowns. Following the CFL draft, Elgersma signed with the Green Bay Packers and played 3 NFL preseason games before he was released. He'll report to the Bombers rookie camp on May the 6th. Here's a look right now what's happening on the street at Portage Avenue. There is some fine ice sitting on top of some frozen rain. So the streets are slippery this morning. When you head out, please give yourself some extra time and be ready to stop very quickly. All right, let's go now to Tandy Vera, who's live this morning at Polo Park. It's going to be full of activities with people wearing all kinds of runners to get going. Good morning, Tandy.
Yeah, good morning, Rochelle, and good morning, Manitoba. We're live at Polo Park today for an event called Run Your Lungs Out. And literally, they're going to be running their lungs out. It's a 24-hour treadmill challenge. And yes, I said 24 hours, so these treadmills are going to keep going for the next 24 hours non-stop. And runners will be taking different shifts and different turns. And it's all in support of Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation. It's to raise awareness and critical funds on lung cancer and lung cancer care here in Manitoba. So if you're looking for something to do this afternoon, come on by, cheer them on, support. If you're looking for something to do at 3 a.m., come on by and give them support. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., whatever the time is, it's on for the next 24 hours here at Polo Park.
Such a great cause. Okay, thank you, Tandy. We'll check in throughout the morning. All right, let's go to the rooftop. It's like ice pellets. They're continuing to fall.
This is exactly it. It is the most aggressive snowfall I have ever encountered. I was listening this morning and thought, oh, I'm going to wear my rain jacket today because the pace, I was like, you definitely need something waterproof. And then as I listened a little bit more and I heard the change kind of go from like a raindrop to an ice pellet, I was like, I need padding this morning. And I instead decided to swap up my rain jacket for my full-out parka. And honestly, I feel like I'm going to be more comfortable in this today than I would have in a rain jacket, even with some layers underneath, because our temperatures, too, are well below seasonal, starting out right now at -4, not likely to budge much through the day. And the snow isn't going to budge much over the course of the morning either. We've got a 19K wind out of the north-northwest, but at times today, that wind could be gusting to about 50 kilometers per hour. So really bringing these little chunks of ice, if you will, sideways. And the way it is so slippery out here this morning, and the way the snow is really kind of piling up in these ice pellets, it's like sand, and you can feel the traction just slipping out from under you, not to mention just the iciness of it all on top of it. So it's going to be ugly today. Thank goodness it is Friday. At least we have that going for us. It's going to be crummy through the weekend.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Winnipeg harm reduction organizations are sounding the alarm about a spike in fatal overdose cases, and there may be a common thread: a new toxic drug popping up on the streets of our city. CTV's Joseph Bernacki reports.
The past 2 weeks have been catastrophic for Kate Schoberg. Her organization, Resource Assistance for Youth, or RAY, says 5 people from their community have overdosed and died.
We're very alarmed because for us, that's a spike in mortality numbers.
Schoberg says it's heartbreaking, particularly because she knows those who died. In fact, they've accessed RAY's services over the years.
The youngest was 19, the eldest of the group was 33. These losses are incredibly tragic, and it's really having, obviously, personal effects on their friends.
And Schoberg is not alone. At Main Street Project, Executive Director Jamil Mahmood says 10 people connected to his organization have died in the same time period. Mahmood says their staff are reversing overdoses daily, but they can't keep up.
Right now, we're averaging 6 a day for sure. We would have averaged probably 2 to 4 a day on like busy times in the past, so it's like almost doubled in terms of kind of what we see on a daily basis.
Schoberg says a veterinarian tranquilizer called metatomidine is driving the spike in overdoses.
It's meant to keep horses sedated during surgery, right? And so that is what we're finding in the drug supply in Winnipeg, and it's been true for about the last 2 months or so. And the way that it presents is that people simply cannot wake up.
What makes it even more challenging to navigate for frontline staff, naloxone doesn't work. Kim Bailey tests drugs for safety at 9 Circles Community Health's lab. Their facility is one of the only in the city with a federal exemption to work with illicit drugs, with an eye towards a safer drug supply.
This week it's metatomidine. 6 months from now it might be something else. Why that's important is that people can then make a decision about whether they're going to use it or not.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A City of Winnipeg spokesperson says naloxone usage is seeing a spike too. A week ago, almost 30 doses were given in a single day. That's the highest number recorded so far this year. Canada Post is starting the preliminary work to convert addresses still getting door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes, as well as phase out some post office. And some of that work is starting right here in Winnipeg. In a news release, the Crown Corporation says Winnipeg is among 13 communities across Canada where it's beginning discussions to move about 136,000 addresses to community mailboxes late this year and early next year. 16,000 of those addresses are in our city and include the 7 postal codes up on your screen. In total, Canada Post says it's converting about 4 million addresses to community mailboxes, and the work is expected to take about 5 years. It comes amid restructuring as the agency faces significant financial headwinds. The rising cost of fuel is now impacting Amazon, but the company says it won't be something passed on to the consumer. Instead, Amazon says Canadian companies using Amazon to pick, pack, and ship goods will now need to pay a surcharge. It works out to about 3.5% and takes effect today. A spokesperson for the company says the surcharge was necessary to partially recover some of the elevated fuel and logistics costs it has been dealing with. Rising water levels in parts of Ontario have left many communities in emergency situations, bracing for the worst.
As of yesterday, we had 15,000 sandbags filled.
This has never flooded here, but apparently it's going to go up 2 to 3 feet.
In Minden, northeast of Toronto, this rural road has been washed away. Heavy rain mixed with snow melt is pushing water levels in Ontario's cottage country region to their max. The township of Minden Hills remains under a state of emergency. The community has set up an evacuation center for people who have been forced to leave their homes. In the Muskoka region, emergency coffer dams are being installed in Fraserburg, designed to hold back the water, preventing it from spilling onto roads.
Community municipal staff have just been working around the clock, and volunteers are coming out of the woodwork and doing whatever was needed.
In Northern Ontario, the communities of Mindy-Moya and Central Manitoulin are still under states of emergency. Flooding has affected local sewer systems. That forced Mindy-Moya Hospital to close this week. Central Manitoulin has a water advisory in place. A new learning lab blending Indigenous cultural teachings with a creative edge is now open in Winnipeg.
It feels like a safe space to be in, and just being in here and having things near you that you could be around and make things easily. I feel like it seems better than to be in an actual class learning it.
The lab is based out of R.B. Russell Vocational School and is the only public education space of its kind in the province. It's built for hands-on, project-based learning and comes equipped with tools which support design, fabrication, textile work, and digital media.
The lab was created through the input from students, from community, from different partners and organizations. We have many Indigenous and non-Indigenous entrepreneurs and artisans that will come and support the lab as well. So it's beyond the lab, it's a safe space, it's a welcoming space for creativity, and beyond that, the partnerships through the community make it special.
This space is currently in its first phase of operation and will be adding more technological tools in the coming year. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The southbound median lane on Carlton Street will be closed from Ellis to Graham Avenue. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Henderson Highway will be closed between Trent and Ottawa Avenue, and the southbound curb lane on Sherbourne Street will be closed from Yarwood to Ellis Avenue. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Yeah, and let's add to that traffic note how slick it will be both for motorists and pedestrians. Those streets, it's snow, but it's also ice. It's pellets of ice that have piled up out there as we're looking through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. But yes, there's already a couple of centimeters of little ice pellets, basically. That's the only way to describe it. Now, I do want to go back on something I said. I was upstairs on the rooftop 10 minutes ago. The last thing out of my mouth, I said, it's going to be a crummy. It's going to be crummy all weekend, I think were my exact words. And I want to take that back because it is definitely crummy today. And it's going to be cold all weekend. It's going to be windy all weekend. It's going to be well below seasonal all weekend. But compared to this morning, we will see some improvements. So relatively speaking, it's not going to be crummy all weekend. And we do have to have something at least to look forward to, apart from the fact that it's the weekend and we can look forward to that in itself. Okay, -4 is where we're sitting right now, seeing very similar temperatures all through the southern part of the province. Normals would be -1, so everybody is well below that. Moving up into northern Manitoba, now we're into the mid-minus teens and even some low -20s. And yes, there's winds on top of that, and those winds today will be strong, making it feel like -10 here in Winnipeg, but worse in Churchill, it feels like -31. Now, we are under a yellow freezing rain warning right now here in the southeast and east central Manitoba, and there you can see how active everything is still looking on the satellite image. Will we see some improvements? Perhaps. We'll probably see that tapering off about midday, and then into the afternoon, just the winds and the below seasonal temperatures only going from -4 to -3. That's our expected high today, 11 degrees, +11. That would be normal, but at least through the weekend, improvements with the conditions, pushing above the freezing mark, though still well below seasonal. But for next week, huge improvements. Everything is looking good again. This is little Willow. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine on top of it all? Perhaps at least the one thing we can say about the snow out there is Willow wouldn't look as dirty as they do right now. Keep the photos coming, please. They put a smile on all our faces. You can send them to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with more.
Good morning. We're getting our first look at the transformation happening inside the iconic Bank of Montreal building at Portage and Main. This is the future home of the Red River Métis National Heritage Centre. The Manitoba Métis Federation purchased the BMO building back in 2020. Once completed, it will feature exhibits and collections highlighting the history and culture of the Métis Nation. The Bank of Montreal building was originally constructed between 1909 and 1913 and received historic status in 1980. According to the Manitoba Métis Federation's website, the Heritage Centre will open early next year. Head down to the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada and you'll see fighter jets, early helicopters, even the UFO-shaped Avro car. Soon, you'll also be able to check out something straight from NASA's historic mission of just last week. A team of volunteers is building a full-scale walk-in replica of the Orion spacecraft crew capsule. CTV's John Hendricks dropped in to check it out and work got underway.
2, 1, booster ignition.
What was one small step for NASA's Artemis II mission is going to become a giant leap for the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada. A team of volunteers has started building a full-scale replica of the Orion spacecraft crew capsule, the same one that the Artemis II mission just used to travel around the moon and back again.
We're starting from scratch here, so and that's the fun part. I mean, it's a DIY at somebody else's expense.
And this project is going to require a lot of creativity.
What is that?
74.
74. Perfect.
That's right.
Unlike model kits, NASA hasn't publicized instructions on how to build a replica of an Orion capsule. But the crew building it here has retired engineers and former members of the Canadian Air Force.
Where are we getting our source of information? It's basically internet. You get pictures, you get a little bit of sketching, but it's really, really bare bones.
One thing that is very public is the general size of the Orion capsule. It's actually quite small, roughly the size of 2 minivans. Not a lot of room for sensitive scientific equipment and 4 astronauts.
I didn't think we would get as exceptionally good at like crawling all over each other for 10 days, but we did get good at that too. It's tight up there.
The Aviation Museum's capsule will be a little bigger. Big enough for everyone to move around in.
You'll understand the shape, the size, the constraints, as you can see inside the shell, and you'll get a good idea of what it is inside.
And you'll be able to go inside more than once.
This one is going to be here to stay.
A new permanent exhibit about the new chapter of space exploration. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Streets and sidewalks have iced over as these pellets just keep hitting the ground, hitting you sideways if you're out and about. It is not pleasant out there this morning. -4 is our actual temperature, though it feels like -10, and that's due to the winds out of the north-northwest, 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 95%. Those are little frozen ice pellets that are falling right now, and oof, each one of them hurts a little bit. I was saying I chose my parka today because I knew I needed something waterproof, and I was honestly just going to go with kind of a rain jacket with some layers, and then I was like, padding is a good idea, and perhaps something to consider for yourself as well. Clearing through parts of northern Manitoba, it's the southern half where things are looking so miserable. Actually, miserable is the word I used to describe today. So here you can see all of that activity in this southeastern corner of the province. We are under a freezing rain warning. Yeah, miserable. See, I even put it in writing right there. Standing by this. -3. We're at -4 right now. -3 is as good as it's going to get. That is not even a normal low temperature. Seasonal lows would be -1. Seasonal daytime highs, 11 degrees. Nowhere near, not even all weekend long. But today will easily be the worst of it, or this morning, I should say, will be the worst of it, because even the precipitation is likely to taper off later on into the afternoon. We'll still deal with strong winds. We'll still deal with below seasonal temperatures, dropping down to -9 overnight. Mostly cloudy conditions, beginning to clear out a little bit for tomorrow. Slight improvements with the sky conditions, a bit more sunshine, not a lot more heat. 1 degree expected, and still with those very strong winds, they'll actually last into Sunday as well. So the real improvements, that's next week. Look at this. Whew. All of a sudden, everything that happens over the weekend will be gone, a distant memory, as we're pushing up above freezing with some sunshine, really pleasant conditions, maybe some showers after a few days of sun.
Thank you, Terry. First Nations chiefs are demanding an apology and federal inquiry into the surveillance of their leaders.
It is about violations of our inherent and treaty rights and the trust that has been broken again and again.
AMC raised its concerns with media Thursday after a CBC investigation uncovered 6,000 pages of internal RCMP documents showing the police service was monitoring Indigenous leaders, organizations, and advocates beginning in the 1960s. Former National Chiefs Phil Fontaine and Ovid Mercredi were among the leaders surveilled.
It's a form of intimidation, I think, on the part of the Crown and the government. A way of ensuring that we behaved ourselves, which meant being complicit or compliant to what they wanted us to do.
AMC and the Assembly of First Nations are calling for an independent public inquiry with First Nations oversight and the immediate disclosure of all RCMP records and intelligence files related to the surveillance. They also want legislative safeguards to prevent it from happening again, and a formal public apology from the Prime Minister and RCMP Commissioner at Lower Fort Garry by the end of the year. We have reached out to RCMP for comments but have not yet heard back. But last month, RCMP Commissioner Mike Duhem issued a statement saying, quote, "The RCMP today is not the same organization it was decades ago, but I acknowledge that more must be done. We have reflected on those past actions and continue to learn from them." The Canadian Real Estate Association has downgraded its housing market forecast, and that's stimulating some creativity. Take what's happening in Steinbach, where folks can buy a home with a down payment of just 1%. CTV's Alex Karpa shows you how this is possible and if it might work as a solution elsewhere.
The basement is like playing for the kids.
For Neljan Romero, owning a home once felt out of reach.
Kitchen.
He moved from the Philippines to Ontario in 2021. With housing prices and the cost of living skyrocketing, he didn't know what his future would look like.
Buying a house nowadays it's like a dream because it's very expensive, right?
In 2024, an unexpected opportunity changed everything. His friend bought a home in Steinbach, Manitoba with just a 1% down payment, and Romero's family followed suit.
It's very beneficial for us.
Romero's new home is in Lexington Village, a growing Steinbach neighborhood where many buyers use the same model, an idea developer Waldo Neustetter created nearly 2 decades ago.
I was down in Florida and I toured a Habitat for Humanity little town site, which they'd built a little community there of 110 homes, roughly about there. And I told my wife, this is what I want to do.
Neustetter partnered with a local builder and credit union, and construction began in 2017. More than 500 homes here in Steinbach and the surrounding area have opted into the 1% down payment program. And with more homes now under construction, the program is extending beyond the city limits. The neighborhood includes townhomes and duplexes. The mortgages function like traditional ones, but with Neustetter's help, buyers avoid insurance fees typically required for down payments under 20%.
We've never had any issues in terms of the losses or any problems in terms of
borrowers in these homes.
For Romero, it's more than just owning a house. It's a fresh start.
It's a beautiful place for us, yeah.
Now he's looking ahead, building savings and a future for his family. Alex Karpus, CTV News, Steinbach, Manitoba.
There is still no official opening date for the Gordie Howe Bridge, and U.S. President Donald Trump may have something to do with that. A source told CTV News talks around an opening are happening quietly to avoid possibly angering the U.S. president. President Trump has threatened to block the American side of the bridge until the U.S. is compensated. Canada is paying the upfront cost to build the entire bridge, which crosses the Detroit River. Major construction on the bridge is finished, with testing and reviews still needing to be done. The target for the opening is still spring of this year. The Artemis 2 astronauts had a chance to share what it was like to fly to around the moon and back.
The sense I had was this sense of fragility and feeling small, infinitesimally small, but yet this very powerful feeling as a human being, like as a group.
Canada's Jeremy Hansen and his fellow crew members spoke about the awe of being in space and the bond they built during their 10-day mission. Splashdown was a week ago today, and the crew said they're still readjusting to being back on Earth, and their work is not done yet as NASA pores over the data they brought back. The Artemis 2 mission took the crew further from Earth than any human has ever been before. All right, here's a look at what's happening right now on the Norwood Bridge. It's barely anyone out at this point, but the streets are very slippery this morning, so you'll definitely need to give yourself some extra stopping distance and some extra time to get to your destination. Here's a look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.70, down from yesterday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.57, the same at 3 gas stations. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, Tandy is live at Polo Park this morning. There's an event happening there. It's a 24-hour Run Your Lungs Out event. We're going to tell you more after the break. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
All right, what an improvement over the last 20 minutes. I kind of feel silly for being as dramatic as I was. But listen, I'm nothing if not dramatic. So now that snow, it's nowhere near as nasty as it was. Honestly, the way it was hitting, it hurt a little bit. I was saying I wore the jacket just for the padding alone, but now it seems to have eased somewhat. Still, we're looking at a couple of centimeters out here, and it is really icy, kind of like little pellets that is very, very slippery. So keep that in mind, both for pedestrians and motorists. And it's still cold, -4. It's still windy. That breeze, 19 clicks. It's out of the north-northwest, and at times today could still be gusting to about 50 kilometers per hour. So the only improvement that we're really seeing is with the pace of the snow and the size of the ice pellets. Now it's just kind of more like little crystals. You can hear it. Sounds like pop rocks. Yeah, my director's like, no, we really can't. Okay, I am still being dramatic. All right, it's not going to really improve until this tapers off, but that will happen within the next few hours. Southern Manitoba, southeastern Manitoba, we have that freezing rain warning, so just keep that in mind for today. Let's head on over and check out where Tandy is this morning, what she's up to. Hey, Tandy.
Hey, we're live at Polo Park today as they're kicking off Run Out Your Lungs. Oh, Run Out Your Lungs? Yes, that's correct.
Run your lungs.
Run your lungs out. Sorry about that. And I'm joined by Laura this morning from Cancer Care Manitoba. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, what is the event? Just an overview for people who might not know.
So Run Your Lungs Out is a 24-hour treadmill challenge happening here at Polo Park. So later this afternoon, the treadmills are going to get going, and every 30 minutes, they're going to switch over with a new participant who has fundraised for Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation and running for loved ones.
Yeah, that's amazing. And this is all in support, as you said, for Cancer Care Manitoba. So where exactly does the money go from donations?
So the donations support local cancer research and really important patient support programs, so emotional and physical support programs, and all of the things that patients need that the government doesn't provide for.
That's amazing. And how important is it to have community events like this and to show that support?
Oh, it's so important. I mean, the funds raised are obviously a really critical part, but the awareness is incredible. I mean, we're here at Polo Park. There's going to be hundreds of people here. So it just gives a really great profile and awareness that we all need to work together to raise money for cancer and improve the lives of those touched by cancer.
Now, people who are at home and untouched by this and might not be able to show up, how else can they show support?
So you can donate online. If you head to our website or if you Google Run Your Lungs Out, you'll easily be taken to a donation page, make a donation online. If you're here at the mall, you can stop by, say hello, and of course we're taking donations all day, and there's a raffle going as well.
That's amazing. And it kicks off today. What times to what time, and what time does it end for people to know?
Opening ceremonies are around 12:30, and the treadmills are starting at 1 p.m. So come on down. It'll be a great day.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That's a great event that's happening. So if you want to come on down, come at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 a.m. for the people who are night owls. It's going to be a great one here.
Here's a look at the early markets this morning. The Dow Jones rose 176 points. The Nasdaq is 37 points up. The S&P index added 15. The loonie is higher, set to 73.10 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng fell 233 points, and the Nikkei lost 1,042 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. More than 600 acres of wilderness in southeast Manitoba will be protected permanently thanks to a couple and their donation.
It is a conservation success story in Manitoba, and it was made possible by the family of William North.
Nature Conservancy Canada learned the property near the community of Elma was coming up for sale. After approaching the owners, the nonprofit says they agreed to sell them the land. And the couple donated a fifth of the property for free in honor of their late uncle, who once owned the land and loved nature.
Some stats about the property. The Monk Creek Peatlands property stores more than 340,000 tons of carbon. This is equivalent to the annual emissions of more than 380,000 passenger vehicles. So by conserving this land, it helps keep those greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere and supports a more stable climate for communities.
The nonprofit says protecting the land will also support the water quality of Monk Creek, which runs through the property and is home to an endangered species of fish. A change could be coming to who can now be called a war veteran. A new bill has been tabled in the Senate that aims to expand the designation to include troops who served in Afghanistan and other recent military missions.
If you ask an Afghan veteran whether they were in a war, they will tell you people were shooting at them, trying to kill them, and some of them died in the process. Some of them were wounded in that process. How could that not be a war?
Senator Hassan Yusuf brought forward the legislation. More than 40,000 troops were part of this country's deployment in Afghanistan, the largest since the Second World War. But right now they are not considered war vets because that title is only for who served in the First and Second World Wars or the Korean War. Police in Delta, BC have released shocking surveillance video showing the attempted arson of a home. Have a look. Two people appear to be pouring gasoline around the perimeter of the house. Moments later, the two masked suspects ignite a piece of paper and then set the house on fire before taking off. Everyone inside is all right. Police are still looking for the people in that video. No date has been set yet for a second round of talks with Iran, but that isn't stopping President Trump from putting forth an optimistic outlook.
The war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon.
The president suggested it could happen as early as this weekend. Meanwhile, the UK and France will chair a virtual meeting today on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. About 40 countries are expected to take part. Turns out there's a lot less conversation in the world. According to new research, we're speaking less. Scientists at the universities of Missouri, Kansas City, and Arizona found that between 2005 and 2019, there was a 28% decline in spoken words. That works out to an average of 338 fewer words being spoken each day. The study couldn't pinpoint the reasons why, but noted that between 2005 and 2019, there was a rise in texting and the use of social media. The Winnipeg Jets were looking to end a disappointing season on a high note against the San Jose Sharks in front of a home crowd at Canada Life Centre Thursday night.
Race for it. Opportunity here for Kepke. He's got a good burst, walking in all alone, and he scores!
Cole Kopke's 8th of the year was the lone bright spot in this one. Macklin Celebrini and the Sharks really sunk their teeth into the Jets, scoring 6 unanswered goals on Eric Comrie in a rout. The Jets finished the campaign 35-35-1, missing the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since the 2021-22 season. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The southbound median lane on Carlton Street will be closed from Ellis to Graham Avenue. Following the rush, the southbound curb lane on Henderson Highway will be closed between Trent and Ottawa Avenue, and the southbound curb lane on Sherbourne Street will be closed from Yarwood to Ellis Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips, please let us know.
Maybe it was that Jets loss that got Mother Nature all worked up. Something did it to her, and my goodness, the way that she worked herself up overnight and was still very active this morning. We're starting to see some improvements with the pace of the snow and the size of those ice pellets, but it is still coming down, making things very slick out on the streets. -4 feels like -10 with a 19K wind out of the north-northwest. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 95%. Yes, very slick conditions. Freezing rain warnings continue through southeastern and east central Manitoba, and you can see on the satellite image where things are looking so active into northwestern Ontario as well. You're going to be experiencing this, as will much of central Manitoba as we continue on through the day. Now, some parts of northern Manitoba might be seeing a little bit more in the way of sunshine. Still the cold and below seasonal temperatures, though. -9 expected in Churchill, and not much better in other places where you're still in those high minus single digits, or for some, Island Lake with the precipitation minus double digits for you. So these values well below what you would expect this time of year. Should be pushing up into the plus digits. We're talking mid now into late April. The latter part of April, I guess. It's still mostly mid-April, but still, these numbers are pretty shockingly cool compared to seasonal. In fact, normal low temperatures would be above what we can expect out of today, with -1 being that seasonal low, and then 11 degrees plus double digits normal for this time of year. We'll deal with winds, we'll deal with that precipitation, freezing ice pellets. That's what's been coming down all morning long and will continue over the next couple of hours at least, maybe tapering off later on into the afternoon, but still that possibility of seeing a few more flakes through the latter part of the day, especially through central Manitoba. That's where it will kind of persist a little bit longer, or areas off to the east of us. Parts of northwestern Ontario might see that enduring a little bit longer as well. The improvements will come with the conditions tomorrow, but not with the temperatures. The weekend still keeps us well below seasonal. However, next week, oof, chef's kiss. This is looking good. Some mid-teen temperatures along with some sunshine to go with it.
All right, let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, you two. Happy Friday.
Oh, I don't know, Rochelle. I'm looking out the window. I don't know. You know who's happy is that Jets fan last night who won a free Jets dog for all of next season. So
what a dream. Oh, my gosh. All the hot dogs I would eat if I won that prize.
Can we settle a quick argument here? Because we're admiring Terry's sweater, and you thought it was green.
I said she looks beautiful.
I said it's not green. It's
like
brown.
A brownie green. Yeah, it's a brownie green.
It's not green.
I think it's a brownie green. You're right, Gabby. But I think so.
There is green in there.
Can you check in?
Green.
It is brown green.
It is brownie green. Yes.
Okay, I take it back. Sorry.
He told me I needed a vision test.
Bo owes you a hot dog.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
Hey, so we were talking about this this week, a couple days ago on Bounce, because I have family members who are habitually late. You can count on them for being late. Oh, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Being German, if you're not there 15 minutes ahead of time, you're late. But apparently I now have a co-host who's also loves to be late.
Rochelle, some of your coworkers have been impacted by this. Catherine Dow, I'm looking at you.
Okay.
It's a disease. I don't know. I'll have plans to get somewhere 15 minutes early, and then somehow I'm 20 minutes
Something
late.
happens.
How are you with punctuality?
Well, because we have deadlines here in the newsroom, I have been always early. I try to get to something early, or at least on time. Being late drives me crazy, and it's been like that for a long time. I'm really mad that Mother Nature is late for spring this year. But I always try to be on time, and it drives me nuts. When I have a girlfriend who was notoriously late, so we started adjusting our schedule so that we would just show up when she showed up, but then she started showing up on time, so then we were late. So that drove me crazy. So then we had to readjust our whole schedule. But anyway, yeah, I'm usually trying to be on time.
Punctuality is a great quality. Spring, get on board.
Yes, indeed. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.
Good morning. We're spending the morning here at the WAG checking out a new show called Art in Bloom, where they take beautiful, stunning artwork and reimagine it into floral designs. And I'm joined this morning by Katrina. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Welcome.
Thank you. Now, for someone who might not know what Art in Bloom is, what is it?
Yeah, so this is a biennial project that we do. Every second year, we decide to transform the gallery into a floral oasis, essentially. So this year we had 95 art installations that interpret the artwork that we have on display. So yeah, we have over 95, and it's professional and non-professional florists that are just being inspired by the art and making it into really cool floral bouquets.
That's amazing, an amazing thing to check out. So what can people expect as they walk through, or anything else?
Yeah, so we have floral interpretations on every floor, so there's lots to see, lots to smell, and then we also have a flower shop downstairs. We have workshops going on. There's lots of floral themes in our shop as well, and it's all thanks to our master partner, Petals West.
That's amazing. And why do you think people have such a unique draw to art and flowers? Why is there such a connection?
Well, I think art in itself is, of course, a huge inspiration, but also florals, especially at this time of year. I think, especially for Winnipeggers right now, the teasing of spring is so strong that when you come in here, you can kind of get that immediate hit of the florals and the color and the senses, and it's just a really lovely way to start off your spring season.
And lastly, are there any must-see installations that people should check out, or just everything?
Honestly, everything. There's some really fantastic ones. We have some of our favorite pieces in the collection that are being interpreted, and they're just fantastic to see what people come up with. Like, it's such a creative weekend, so I really encourage everybody to come and check it out.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Yeah, if you want to check it out, it's on this weekend, so you don't want to miss it.
This is what it looks like outside right now. It's slow moving. Those streets are slippery. There's ice pellets over frozen rain, so please be careful out there. It is not an easy drive this morning. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. It's Friday, April 17th. Today, putting up a fight, how one First Nation is preparing for aggressive spring flooding. Plus, sounding the alarm, what toxic substance is being found in the city's drug supply. And a first look, what changes are underway inside an iconic Winnipeg building. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Art in Bloom, we're going to have more coverage telling you a little bit more about the event at the WAG, of course. It's a beautiful installation throughout the exhibits. So we'll check that out with Tandy Vera. But also, the weather driving in today, it was very slick for me. Stopping at a stop sign, it took a little bit more distance to get there properly. So it's going to be a rough ride today.
Yeah, drop the speed 100%. It is still nasty out there. However, some good news, the freezing rain warning has now lifted. That doesn't mean it's not still incredibly slick, because we had that freezing rain warning and now those streets are covered in ice. It's -4 right now, feels like -11 with a north-northwest wind, 22 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 95%. I just want to say it's kind of a mossy green. That's how I would describe this, mossy green. It's still in the green phase, but a lot of people know I can't wear like a bright green because it doesn't show up on our chroma key, on our green screen. So I have to choose certain shades of green. For those of you that were wondering, it's white. That's all through the southeastern part of the province, or the purple that you're seeing. That's actually the freezing rain. The white is more the snow that's coming down. We're going to be seeing more of that through the course of the morning. Central Manitoba, you're also in for more of that. In fact, you're going to see this kind of taper off a little bit here in the very southern part and linger through more of central Manitoba. So there you can see, once we're looking into the afternoon, we're starting to see things tapering off here in the southeast as it moves into northwestern Ontario. Again, the mixed colors showing the mixed forms, and that snow that'll just continue to hammer through central Manitoba. A bit of a wraparound, but we're not seeing a whole lot of that activity moving into the southeast. Maybe a few skiffs of snow and then clearing out. We'll get some sunshine back for the weekend. What we're not getting back is heat, not for a few days yet. However, next week is looking so much better. Next few days, pretty crummy overall. -3, we're not even cracking the freezing mark today, let alone getting close to seasonal double digits. 11 degrees, that's normal. But for next week, it's looking good both with the conditions and with the numbers. And in fact, it just keeps rising with a round of precipitation later next week. And our art today is thanks to Azzy, 11 years old. Since we're not going to be seeing much sunshine today, we're glad that you provided some for us. And we'd love to see more of what you're working on. So now send your art to us through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you enter through the website, you're also entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Peguis First Nation is putting up an aggressive flood fight. The community is bracing for what is forecast to be a devastating spring flood. Thousands of sandbags are being filled and thrown. Even Premier Wab Kinew was there to help out Thursday. And as CTV's Jeff Gill shows you, members of the community say this is the most prepared it's ever been.
Velma Sanderson's nephew's house already has a wall of sandbags around it.
We know it's coming, but, you know, like, this place always floods every year.
She's hoping that's enough to keep the floodwaters at bay.
I'd say it should be. Then again, I'm not sure.
There is a lot of activity on Peguis First Nation, which is prone to flooding after forecasters warned this spring could be as severe as 2022. Community members and volunteers are filling thousands of sandbags. Trucks are hauling them to needed homes and buildings. You can see them crisscrossing the First Nation. People here say this is the most preparation they've ever seen.
You usually start too late and it's already flooded there. Yeah. Look at the water.
Premier Wab Kinew was also here to lend a hand, as well as a crew from the Canadian Red Cross who are setting up a warming center.
So the community members and the volunteers and personnel could take a break while they're helping to protect their communities from the upcoming flood.
The province says evacuations could be necessary if roads get cut off, but in case of snap evacuations, tents and teepees are being set up inside Peguis's arena.
Just in case we have evacuees in the middle of the night, so they'll have somewhere to go and sleep, so it won't be so traumatic for the children and the families, and they could just all stay together in the tents.
Velma Sanderson hopes the effort will be enough for everyone to stay put and avoid being displaced again.
Rather be home in the community with our people.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Peguis First Nation.
Meanwhile, Peguis First Nation Chief Stan Bird says evacuations could start this weekend. He says beginning that process sooner rather than later could help avoid the panic that has come with previous evacuations. Leaders are still figuring out where evacuees may be sent. A pair of Winnipeg harm reduction organizations is sounding the alarm about a spike in fatal overdose cases. And there may be a common thread. A new toxic drug popping up on the streets of our city. It's described as an animal tranquilizer called medetomidine, and it's driving the spike in overdoses. It's being found in a number of other drugs like Down, fentanyl, crystal meth, and cocaine. This drug slows the heart rate and lowers a person's blood pressure, essentially making them very sleepy for a long period of time, something those on the front lines of the drug crisis commonly see with opioid ODs. But with this drug, naloxone is ineffective. It won't wake a person up and reverse the sedating effects, making it extremely dangerous. 5 of the recent deaths were people connected to resource assistance for youth.
It's meant to keep horses sedated during surgery, right? And so that is what we're finding in the drug supply in Winnipeg, and it's been true for about the last 2 months or so. And the way that it presents is that people simply cannot wake up. So they might be okay in terms of oxygen level, they might be okay in terms of just general health, but they're not able to wake up.
A City of Winnipeg spokesperson says naloxone usage is seeing a spike too. A week ago, almost 30 doses were given in a single day. That's the highest number recorded so far this year. A growing body of research is suggesting that certain types of movements may be more beneficial than others when it comes to health benefits. The intensity of your exercise may matter as well. A new study published in the European Heart Journal found that a small amount of vigorous activity may be linked to lower risk of 8 different chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, dementia, and atrial fibrillation. People who had more than about 4% of their total activity classified as vigorous had substantially lower risks of developing these conditions compared with people who had no vigorous activity at all. Vigorous activity is generally defined as exercise that substantially raises your heart rate and breathing. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers shored up their quarterback ranks Thursday with a very big signing. The Blue and Gold announced they've signed rookie Canadian QB Taylor Elgersma. The Bombers picked Elgersma in the second round of the 2025 CFL Canadian Draft after a standout university career at Wilfrid Laurier. He was named the top player in youth sports football in 2024 after finishing the season with over 4,200 passing yards and 35 touchdowns. Following the CFL Draft, Elgersma signed with the Green Bay Packers and played 3 NFL preseason games before he was released. He'll report to Bombers rookie camp on May the 6th. We're getting our first look at the transformation happening inside the iconic Bank of Montreal building at Portage and Main. This is the future home of the Red River Métis National Heritage Centre. The Manitoba Métis Federation purchased the BMO building back in 2020. Once completed, it will feature exhibits and collections highlighting the history and culture of the Métis Nation. The Bank of Montreal building was originally constructed between 1909 and 1913 and received historic status in 1980. According to the Manitoba Métis Federation's website, the Heritage Centre will open early next year. Here's a look at traffic now at Confusion Corner. It looks like it's slow moving, and it should be. The streets are slippery this morning, so give yourself some extra time as you head out.
Equities are pushing higher as speculation grows that a deal to end the war between the U.S. and Iran is getting closer, prompting traders to take on more risk after an extraordinary rally. The TSX is up 6.5% in the past 3 weeks, while south of the border, the S&P 500 is on course for a third week of gains of more than 3%. A stunning reversal following mounting signs that the U.S. and Iran have been looking to de-escalate their conflict that has roiled the energy markets. Optimism over artificial intelligence and robust earnings have added to the momentum. Meanwhile, Brent oil dropped 3.2% towards $96 a barrel. RBC and Scotiabank say they are dropping their 2030 targets for reducing financed emissions as governments pull back on climate action and artificial intelligence drives a surge in energy demand. RBC says after a review, it has concluded that its interim targets are not reasonably achievable. Scotiabank cites factors like the U.S. curbing major parts of the Inflation Reduction Act, Canada eliminating the consumer carbon tax and not implementing an oil and gas emissions cap, as well as rising energy demand from AI and a lack of progress on carbon capture technology for the change. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Thank you, Roger. Let's go now to Tandy, who's live at CF Polo Park this morning. This is going to be quite an event this weekend, all for a great cause. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. Run Your Lungs Out. That's basically what they're going to do. They're going to be on their treadmills for 24 hours. These treadmills will be going non-stop, runners taking different shifts. So it's all in support for Cancer Care Manitoba. And the goal this year is they're hoping to raise about $150,000. They already have raised about $130,000 so far. So if you're looking to donate, support, come on down. You can also go to their website to check it out. And later on, we're going to be chatting to the founder of Run Your Lungs, kind of chatting about the inspiration behind creating this initiative and this event, as well as one of the participants who will be taking part. So we have that all lined up in the show, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Tandy. All right, let's go out to the rooftop. The umbrella's out, and still, what is it? Still those ice pellets?
No, not at all. Like barely, just like a little bit of fine, light snow. Honestly, I wonder, do I need this? I could probably put my hood up. I didn't want to get wet, and so I'm standing out here now. Do you know what else? I mean, as much activity as there was this morning, I'm glad about my parka choice because I needed it 20 minutes, an hour ago. Now I'm thinking, oof, I'm going to be so overdressed for my walk home. Now that things seem to have tapered off and the bulk of that system is passed, it is still below seasonal, but it probably doesn't require a parka. -4 right now feels like -11. There is going to be a stronger wind, and in fact, it's already increasing. 23 clicks out of the northwest, the pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 93%. But I mostly chose the parka for the padding because those ice pellets, they hurt. Anyway, yeah, maybe you don't need to be quite as dramatic as I was. I was only matching Mother Nature and her dramatics. So anyway, seeming to improve somewhat. It's still going to be below seasonal. We'll start to see this tapering off, the heavier clouds lingering for today, a little more sunshine for the weekend itself, but we're not getting an improvement in those temperatures yet. And we will still likely experience some stronger winds for the weekend. Oh, I should mention that freezing rain warning, that has now been lifted.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
It's time now for a question of the day. If you caught our chat with Bounce this morning, today we talked about punctuality. So we want to know, are you usually on time or late for events? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Here's a look at what's going on now at Taché Avenue. It's slippery out there. If you're walking, make sure to put some grippies on your boots. And if you're driving, give yourself some extra stopping distance. We're going to be right back after this short break. Good morning. Thompson RCMP are asking for the public's help to find a missing 15-year-old female. Police say they received a report on Wednesday that Bailey Burton Greaves was last seen April 10th in Thompson. They added attempts to reach her at various addresses in Thompson have proven unsuccessful so far. RCMP and her family are concerned for her well-being. Bailey is about 5 feet 3 inches tall with a slender build, long brown straight hair with bangs and brown eyes. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Bailey Burton Greaves is asked to call Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909 or Crime Stoppers. Canada Post is starting the preliminary work to convert addresses still getting door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes, as well as phase out some post offices, and some of that work is starting right here in Winnipeg. In a news release, the Crown Corporation says Winnipeg is among 13 communities across Canada where it's beginning discussions to move about 136,000 addresses to community mailboxes late this year and early next year. 16,000 of those addresses are in our city and include the 7 postal codes up on your screen. In total, Canada Post says it's converting about 4 million addresses to community mailboxes, and the work is expected to take about 5 years. It comes amid restructuring as the agency faces significant financial headwinds. A Winnipeg institution is set to fire up its grill once again.
My dad and our extended family, that's where they got their start in the restaurant business.
And Peter Janakis tells CTV News his 87-year-old dad, John, is now back at Thunderbird restaurant, which he first opened with his brothers back in 1961. John was approached to provide guidance to the current ownership group after it bought the McPhillip Street Eatery last year. Janakis says a number of upgrades are currently underway.
We've given it a thorough, renovation inside. We've refreshed most of the surfaces. We've gone and, replaced a lot of equipment.
Janakis says fans can expect a menu very similar to what Thunderbird traditionally offered, with all-day breakfast, hamburgers, hot dogs, and pots of fresh coffee. The diner plans to relaunch with a series of soft opening events for area businesses, with plans to fully reopen to the public in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Poor road conditions are resulting in a service disruption in the Division Scolaire Franco-Manitobaine this morning. The DSFM reports buses are cancelled for École Saint-Georges for today. Again, no buses today for École Saint-Georges. Here's a look now at the current traffic situation along Kenaston Boulevard. Things are moving well, it appears, at this point in the drive. I can tell you from experience coming in on the outside of the city, the roads are very slick. So give yourself some extra time and some stopping distance, please. It is really treacherous out there.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
In entertainment, from Beethoven to Barbie, the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra is out with its 2026-27 season lineup. The season opens in September with Beethoven and Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphonies before moving on to other classics such as Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 27 and Brahms' Piano Concerto No. 1. Thursday, symphonic sessions continue, offering you the chance to watch live rehearsals and take part in post-concert questions and answer sessions this season. The WSO will be performing the scores alongside live screenings of 5 movies, including Skyfall, Barbie the Movie in concert, and The Wizard of Oz. There is plenty more in store. You can find all the information and subscription packages by visiting WSO.ca or by calling the box office. And the Royal Winnipeg Ballet is wrapping up its current season with the return of one of the most accomplished dancers to grace its stage. Internationally renowned prima ballerina Evelyn Hart will be joining the RWB's season finale performance of The Four Seasons. Hart was the leading dancer at the RWB for nearly 30 years. The shows run April 30th to May 3rd at the Centennial Concert Hall and also includes the Canadian premiere of Shea Katoum and Odyssey. And on May 3rd, you can hear directly from Hart during a pre-show chat. Tickets are available at rwb.org. Here's your prime time lineup tonight. Celebrity Jeopardy kicks off at 7. Happy's Place and Children Ruin Everything comes next at 8. And at 9, catch Boston Blue. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
Looking outside through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Slight improvements already that we're experiencing as far as the conditions go. In fact, I think I'm probably a little bit overdressed. I'll be regretting it on my walk home. The choice of parka today, yeah, that was a little excessive. It was the way the ice was pelting this morning that I thought it was a good idea, and the fact that we will deal with some stronger winds and below seasonal temperatures, but I may be overshot a little bit. Okay, here we go. -4, -5, -7 as we're looking through much of southern Manitoba. These are the average temperatures. Yes, it's below seasonal. -1 would be a normal low, but like I said, we will start to see some improvements, and in fact, we already are. Through central and northern Manitoba, you're seeing some colder temperatures. This is where you might want your parka on. Up in Churchill, where it's -23, and that's before you're factoring in the wind. Add a wind on top of that, -30, a parka makes sense. A -11 wind chill value, maybe don't need the parka, but you will want a few extra layers. I've got layers and the parka, and all of it was kind of overkill. The freezing rain warning, it has lifted, but things are still very, very slick out on the streets. The activity, you can still see it showing up here on the satellite image. It's easing, but it is still active. And through central Manitoba, you're going to continue to see that throughout the day today, whereas here in the south, it will probably taper off, but the winds remaining strong, and the temperatures, well, they're really not going to be rising much from -4 to -3. That's as good as it's going to get for today. It will clear out somewhat overnight and through the weekend, so a little more sunshine, not a lot of heat. 11 degrees is normal, but next week's looking fantastic with temperatures even climbing above seasonal. Oh, Willow, I can't even imagine what Nola and Greg must have thought when they saw you rolling in the mud puddles. Anyway, thank you for putting a smile on our face. We'd love to see more of your weather pictures. Keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
April 17th, 1964, the Ford Motor Company unveiled the Mustang at the New York World's Fair. It caused a sensation, and 22,000 orders were taken the first day for the sporty, affordable car. The Mustang inspired the pony car era, spawning competitors like the Chevy Camaro and Plymouth Barracuda. April 17th, 2024, Peel Regional Police in Ontario arrested 9 people and laid 19 charges in a nearly $24 million gold and cash heist from Toronto's Pearson Airport 1 year prior. The arrest followed a joint task force investigation that included American police that was dubbed Project 24K. April 17th, 2025, Winnipeg's St. Boniface Hospital became the first in the country to install a vending machine that offers HIV tests, naloxone kits, and condoms for free. The machine was the 12th Our Health box released in the country and the first in a Canadian hospital setting.
Good morning. We're here at the WAG checking out a new show called Art in Bloom, and I'm joined by Jan Burns, who's the committee chair. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Now, this is such a beautiful event, but it takes so much work to set up. Can you chat with me about the process?
We start about 2 years out. This is a biennial event, and the Associates of the WAG are the sponsors of this event, and it's a fundraiser. We support all the programming, acquisitions for the gallery. And what happens is we work with the head of the curatorial staff, Dr. Riva Simcoe, and we go through and choose 130 pieces, if you will. They're all different mediums, and they're sent out to interpreters that worked with us 2 years ago. So this is the 5th Art in Bloom that we've had. So we started back in 2017, and we have lots of add-on pieces as well as the lovely interpretations. And it's a combination of professionals and non-professionals. I'm doing one, and I am not a professional florist in any way, shape, or form, but we have a pop-up flower shop. We have a make-your-own bouquet table. We have Flower and Flower Bakery is here. The WAG shop brings in all kinds of botanical themed paintings. We have felted flowers, and we have earrings that you can attach live flowers to and wear. So there's a lot of different ways to enjoy the event. We have a floral frame that you can come and stick your head through and have pictures taken. It's an event that attracts, I like to say, generational. So we'll have the grandparents coming, you know, with the grandkids and the mom, and they come and enjoy all this wonderful color and smell in this dreary April. So we like to position it in April. It's a nice transition month, so we can bring some of this into the gallery.
That's amazing, and that sounds like so much fun. So if anyone's looking for something to do this weekend, pop by the WAG and check out some beautiful art and flowers, and smell the flowers too.
Run Your Lungs Out is an event happening at Polo Park this weekend, starting today in the afternoon. That is where our Tandy Vera is live this morning. Hi, Tandy.
Hi, I'm joined this morning by participant Michelle, who's actually going to be taking part today. Thank you for joining us, Michelle. Now tell me, what inspired you to take part in the event?
So this is my second year doing the event. Last year I did it with my best friend and my sister. So we came out on Saturday afternoon last year. And, you know, I was kind of thinking and reflecting about last year versus this year. And before you get on the treadmill, they give you kind of a sign and you can put who you're running for. So last year I was, you know, could kind of consider myself lucky that I had to put some thought into how to fill out the sign on the treadmill. My mom had thankfully like a really straightforward melanoma diagnosis, but other than that, I hadn't been too closely affected by cancer. Just a couple months after the event, my close girlfriend's sister called me and said that she didn't know how to say this, but that my friend Taylor had been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So this year definitely holds kind of a greater purpose and a little bit closer to home. So I feel really honored to be participating in the event and doing this for her, but also to be here today. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, because this event is about impact and like sharing those stories. So just on a fun note, how have you been prepping for your slot today?
Yeah, so running is something that kind of is a bit of a therapeutic exercise for me all year round. The weather's gotten a little bit nicer, but you know, just kind of doing what I do every day, which is, you know, kind of get some running in, go to the gym, trying to take care of myself, but also just, you know, preparing for an event like this to raise money. And, you know, it's so important. Things like this are so important because I think about my girlfriend who, you know, maybe last year I was raising funds, but it didn't really hit us close to home. Whereas now, you know, I see the impact of what raising funds do and staying right here in Manitoba and all that it has to offer to people like Taylor who are utilizing those services and Cancer Care Manitoba. So yeah, it's an honor.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, wishing you all the best today with your run. Thank you for participating. That's such an important message. So if you want to check it out, if you want to come support Michelle, come anytime between 1 p.m. today till noon tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll be here.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tandy.
And it's indoors.
It's indoors, but you'll have to walk to the mall first before you get there, so make sure to put your rubber boots on. Or
the penguin shuffle. I wore my winter boots today. Now, I also said I've overdressed in every facet, but winter boots, and I'm not mad about that choice, mostly because I feel like they have the best grip, and also because there's all of that icy, slushy stuff out on the streets now. Still a little bit more falling, although it has tapered from the pace that it was coming down this morning. -4 feels like -11 with a 23 wind out of the northwest. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 93%. There is still a little bit of precipitation, but nowhere near as active as it was earlier this morning, and it is starting to taper off. Still in the southeastern part of the province, though those freezing rain warnings have lifted now. But you can see into parts of northwestern Ontario all the different colors that it's displayed as, and that's more of the mixed form. We're starting to see it kind of more snowish. Flurry form is still a little bit mixed, and that's what you can expect throughout the morning hours, maybe tapering off later today. -3, that's as good as it'll probably get. We're at -4 right now, so we're not going to make any impressive gains, barely gains at all, in fact. And those winds will at times be out of the northwest, gusting to 50 kilometers per hour, easing only to a 30 wind overnight as we drop down to -9. The sky should begin to clear, though. Those clouds moving out of the way, setting us up for at least a little more sunshine tomorrow. Not a lot more heat, and still those stronger winds expected. However, by next week, big improvements. The weekend itself remains well below seasonal, but 11 degrees is normal, and by next week with the sunshine, we'll be surpassing seasonal temps.
Winnipeg fire crews were kept busy Thursday evening with a blaze in the Niagara Place neighborhood. Our CTV News camera shows several WFPS vehicles involved in firefighting operations at a home on Fallwood Bay. According to the city's online emergency response log, the call-out came at around 7:20 p.m. No word yet on damage estimates or cause of the fire. We have reached out to the city for more details on the incident. A pair of Winnipeg harm reduction organizations is sounding the alarm about a spike in fatal overdose cases. And there may be a common thread, a new toxic drug popping up on the streets of our city. It's described as an animal tranquilizer called medetomidine, and it's driving the spike in overdoses. It's being found in a number of other drugs like down, fentanyl, crystal meth, and cocaine. This drug slows the heart rate and lowers a person's blood pressure, essentially making them very sleepy for a long period of time, something those on the front lines of the drug crisis commonly see with opiate ODs. But with this drug, naloxone is ineffective. It won't wake a person up and reverse the sedating effects, making it extremely dangerous. 5 of the recent deaths were people connected to resource assistance for youth.
It's meant to keep horses sedated during surgery, right? And so that is what we're finding in the drug supply in Winnipeg, and it's been true for about the last 2 months or so. And the way that it presents is that people simply cannot wake up. So they might be okay in terms of oxygen level, they might be okay in terms of just general health, but they're not able to wake up.
A City of Winnipeg spokesperson says naloxone usage is seeing a spike too. A week ago, almost 30 doses were given in a single day. That's the highest number recorded so far this year. First Nations chiefs are demanding an apology and federal inquiry into the surveillance of their leaders.
It is about violations of our inherent and treaty rights and the trust that has been broken again and again.
AMC raised its concerns with media Thursday after a CBC investigation uncovered 6,000 pages of internal RCMP documents showing the police service was monitoring Indigenous leaders, organizations, and advocates beginning in the 1960s. Former National Chiefs Phil Fontaine and Ovid Mercredi were among the leaders surveilled. There is still no official opening date for the Gordie Howe Bridge, and U.S. President Donald Trump may have something to do with that. A source told CTV News talks around an opening are happening quietly to avoid possibly angering the U.S. president. President Trump has threatened to block the American side of the bridge until the U.S. is compensated. Canada is paying the upfront cost to build the entire bridge, which crosses the Detroit River. Major construction on the bridge is finished, with testing and reviews still needing to be done. The target for the opening is still spring of this year. Birthdays are more fun when they're celebrated together.
Most beautiful girl in the class. He was such a nice-looking fellow and so kind.
George and Karine are from Buffalo, and they're both turning 100 this year. Their birthdays are 1 day apart, so they celebrated with a joint party. Aside from their birthdays, Karine and George are also getting ready to mark another milestone, 80 years together. Congratulations to them. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The southbound median lane on Carlton Street will be closed from Ellis to Graham Avenue following the rush. The southbound curb lane on Henderson Highway will be closed between Trent and Ottawa Avenue. And the southbound curb lane on Sherbourne Street will be closed from Yarwood to Ellis Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips to share, please send us a text. Here's a look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.70, down from yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.57, the same at 3 gas stations. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for this week's Adorable Adoptables. We begin with Ellie. This 3-year-old has a few unique medical issues, but she's a happy pup. She loves to run and play and does take meds to manage her conditions. Next up is Tipsy. She's a 6-year-old kitten, a true introvert. Tipsy loves to quietly explore her surroundings and would thrive in a calm and loving home to cuddle up with. And meet Georgie, a 9-month-old. He's an enthusiastic pup who's eager to make new friends. All it takes to win Georgie's heart is some treats and some pets. He especially loves a solid belly rub. If you think you can offer any of these animals a good home, just head down to the Winnipeg Humane Society or give them a call. The number is there on your screen. Here's a look outside right now. We're sitting at -4 with the wind chill feels like -11. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
All right, it is not an easy walk outside this morning. -4 feels like -11 with that wind out of the northwest, 23 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 93%. That was the observation Rochelle actually just made, looking out the window at folks that are moving along Graham Avenue just outside our building. And the way you're having to do that little bit of a penguin shuffle right now, it is incredibly slick. So please give yourself some extra time, and for motorists as well. Those streets also very, very icy. A look right now at the satellite image, you can see things are still very active. The freezing rain warnings that were issued earlier this morning have lifted, and even the intensity of the activity has eased somewhat, but still the remnants of what's left behind now, that's where all of the iciness comes from. There might be a little more sunshine up in the far northeast, but not a lot more heat. The temperatures, as you can see, will be well below seasonal, high -single digits, maybe even some -double digits. And in that more central stretch, that's where you have a better chance of dealing with the flurry activity today, or some freezing rain in there as well. Central Manitoba likely to be hit with that all day long. Further into the south, we might see it tapering off. However, winds, that is the wind icon that we're seeing around the Brandon area. That will continue to be a factor today. Northwest winds could at times be gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. And while we're still dealing with some of that precipitation, that'll likely taper off in the next hour or so, or a few hours over the course of the morning. But the improvements really won't come really over the weekend. I mean, the sky conditions will improve. The temperatures, they won't. And the winds won't either. They're likely to remain strong overnight and still for tomorrow. But yes, we will get the sunshine back again, and we'll eventually climb out from below the freezing mark, but into those low single digits when 11 degrees is normal. Next week is when the real improvements will hit.
Thank you. And let's go now to Tandy Vera, who's live at CF Polo Park this morning. It's going to be a hub of activity there throughout the day. A lot of people running. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. So many people running today, and now I'm joined by one of the founders of Run Your Lungs Out, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now take us back to the beginning. What inspired this event?
The original inspiration of this event was a few people wanted to create an event and raise some money for Cancer Care Manitoba and direct the funds towards lung cancer. So the original event in 2018, we had only 4 treadmills. Myself and another gentleman, Juno, who's also co-founder of the event, we both ran on the treadmill for 24 hours. We did 100 miles each, and we only had 2 other treadmills beside us, and then people rotated in every 30 minutes. And that was sort of the birth of the event. And then from there, we've grown the event over the years. But the original intent was we really wanted to challenge ourselves and raise money for cancer care, and we did. We left there pretty sore, but with a full heart and a lot of money raised, so it was pretty great.
That's incredible. That's also such a challenge. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
And seeing how it's grown since 2018, how do you feel seeing it now come all together?
It's a really, really, really cool feeling to see like what it was as it started and what it is now, and the beautiful organic growth behind it, and the money raised for the foundation, and like it's just so special to see that the community is behind it and the participants are behind it, and just all of our partners and sponsors, and it's an amazing thing to watch it where it began to where it is now, truly.
And why was it important to support Cancer Care Manitoba?
It's just such a no, knock on wood, I've never had to personally utilize their services or someone in my immediate family, and it's one of those things that I love to raise the money for these sort of causes. Because there's so many people in our communities that need it, and it's so important. But I hope to God never have to actually use it myself or for someone that I know personally. But it's just so important to raise these funds for the foundation, for sure.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to be chatting with Jonathan again later on during the show. But Run Your Lungs Out's happening. Kickoff on the treadmills is at 1 p.m. So come on down and show your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tandy. Travel experts are urging Canadians to book summer travel plans to Europe sooner than later, as the possibility of a jet fuel shortage in Europe grows due to Iran's blocking of the Strait of Hormuz to U.S. ships and those of its allies back in March. Beginning today, Amazon is hitting its Canadian and U.S. sellers with a 3.5% surcharge due to the rising cost of fuel and logistics. CTV's Kamil Karamali joins us now with the latest in gas and fuel concerns. Good morning, Kamil.
Good morning, Rochelle. Good to see you.
You too. Now, the cost of fuel is making a dent on companies who sell goods through Amazon. Tell us about the fuel charges and what impacts they will have.
Sure, yeah, lots of Canadians depend on Amazon, as I'm sure you know, including you and me. But starting today, they're going to have to start adding a 3.5% fuel surcharge to the sellers. Mind you, not the buyers, but the sellers. But obviously, we're hearing from experts, and the way economics works, the sellers likely to pass that increased cost off to the buyers in the cost of the products itself. Now, Amazon says it's because of elevated costs in fuel logistics. The announcement comes amid soaring oil prices globally due to the war in Iran, and it says the surcharge is coming into effect today. So this is, as I mentioned, likely to have sellers pass on the added cost to consumers by raising the prices. When will all of this might end? Well, we've heard from experts, even if the Strait of Hormuz is open today, it could still take some time until the savings get passed on. Have a listen to what one expert had to say.
It'll probably take about 2 to 3 months after a final agreement for oil markets to start to get back to normal. A part of the challenge is that you have to restart all of the pumps in the Middle East that have been shut down during the conflict. And you also have to get the oil tankers, which have gone on to serve other routes, back to the Middle East to then pick up that oil and then transfer it to markets for sale.
That's going to be
And Rochelle, Amazon has... sorry, go ahead.
Amazon, what were you going to say there?
Oh, I was going to say Amazon has said that they are passing on, they are going to have to keep these fuel surcharges for the time being, but they are lower than FedEx and UPS, for example.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Kamil. Have a good day and a good weekend. Who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 6th birthday, Ivar. Auntie Karen sends her love and wishes you a super fun day. Happy 3rd birthday, Kai. Enjoy your Mario birthday. Happy birthday to Shireen with love from your oldest son. Happy 8th birthday, Everly. Love Grandma and Grandpa. Happy birthday, Charles. Love B, Cash, Mom, and Jaxie Boy. Happy birthday to Logan from Mom, Dad, Nikki, Baba, Gigi, and Uncle Matt, who is also celebrating a birthday today. Happy belated 35th birthday, Melissa. Love Matthew, your fur babies, Eddie and Annie, and all your family. Happy 78th birthday, Clara. Love from Sol and Rio. Happy birthday, Joe. 84 years young. Love Carol, Rob, Rebecca, and Ron. And a happy 67th wedding anniversary to Doug and Eleanor. Love from your daughters, Debbie, Cheryl, Shelley, and the families. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contests for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
Weather is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Cool and nowhere near seasonal is what you can expect out of today, climbing to about -3 with our high temperature when 11 degrees is normal for this time of year. Last year we did even better than that, getting up to 13 degrees back in 1915. A scorching 28.9 K, maybe not scorching, but still hot, especially for this time of year. Could you imagine if in April we suddenly found ourselves at 28 degrees? Well, next week we could be getting close to those numbers. I'm not saying quite that hot, but above seasonal. And that'll be a nice change up compared to what we're waking up to this morning or what we'll experience throughout the day today. It's -4 right now. Feels like -11 when you're factoring in that wind, 23 clicks out of the northwest. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 93%. It was full of ice pellets coming at us sideways earlier on this morning. It made things very, very slick on surfaces, roads, sidewalks. There was a freezing rain warning in place, which has now lifted, but still, it is very, very slippery. Keep that in mind for your commute today, either as a motorist or a pedestrian. Now it's just kind of some light snow that's falling, but these temperatures will remain cooler than you'd expect. And not just cooler than you'd expect, we're not even cracking the freezing mark today. Through pretty much the entire province, we're going to remain below freezing when most of us should, by this time of year, be pushing at least a few degrees or even double digits, as would be the case here in the south, above the freezing mark. Now, we'll get to those double-digit temperatures once we're looking ahead to next week, but this whole weekend will remain cool. And this morning, a little bit snowy. Some improvements this afternoon when the snow tapers off and a little more sunshine for the weekend.
Thanks, Terry. Regina Husky is getting attention online after showing she knows exactly where she's going. CTV's Mick Favel tells us about the dog who is determined to get to her destination.
Missy is a 5-year-old husky who has been coming to Spot's place for nearly her entire life. On a day when she was scheduled to be elsewhere, Missy surprised everyone at the dog daycare by making her way over unsupervised.
I looked up on our security cameras that are in front of my desk, and I saw this dog running around in the parking lot. I'm like, oh my God, there's a dog out there. It's Missy. So we let Missy in. Yeah. Biggest smile on her face. She was so proud of herself, so happy to be here.
Monday to Friday, Missy and her owner make the 7-minute bike ride to Spot's place. According to the daycare, Missy was in her backyard when she made her way out through under the fence. Her daily routine of traveling there and back is likely what got her to the facility safely.
Rain or shine, like I'm not even kidding, it'll be -30, they're biking.
It is snowing out and he is still biking with Missy here, so.
Yeah. So they take the same route, she's very familiar with it, so it's just like really second nature to her.
Missy's owner was shocked when she got the call, learning her furry friend had escaped, especially since Spot's place is located in a strip mall off a busy stretch of road on Victoria Avenue East.
It's just miraculous that, nothing happened and it wasn't, it was as positive of a situation as you could have it, right? I certainly don't condone dogs escaping yards and going out on, journeys by themselves, but we're just thankful.
Spot's place is a daycare just for dogs. It's a place where they can be trained and groomed and is a home away from home. Depending on the day, they see upwards of 100 pets passing through with a never-ending stream of stories about dogs being dogs, but what Missy did is a first for them.
Dogs get out and sometimes they escape and sometimes they're running around, but I've never had one come back to like a specific place or like a certain place. So I believe she must feel quite safe here and likes being here, the fact that she came all this way.
Proving practice and following your nose can sometimes get you where you need to go. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
We've been spending a lovely morning here at the WAGs, checking out Art in Bloom, and now I'm joined by interpreters Henny and Ainsley. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, looking at your piece, what drew you to interpreting this piece?
So the honest answer is Ainsley and I were sitting at a meeting and we realized we hadn't put our names down for an art piece. And we went through what was left. And pretty much this was one of the few that was left. And we decided, sure, we can do that.
Well, I think it came out beautifully. It looks very cool. Walk me through the process, how it's been creating it.
Well, I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to one of the people who works in the education here at the WAG, Colleen Leduc. This artist, Aganitha Dick, very well-known artist in Manitoba who passed away fairly recently, and Colleen happens to be a real fan of her work. So she was leading us through a small exhibition of Aganitha's work. And the thing about Aganitha is she really celebrated domestic sort of overlooked everyday items. And so I thought that was, kind of a nice thing for us to interpret, because some of the other pieces are interpreting really grand ideas or really, serious subjects. And this seemed to be whimsical and sort of an everyday we used flowers that were more kind of sometimes, kind of sturdy and resilient flowers that are sometimes overlooked, but we thought that was important to highlight, her practice of using buttons and other things. And she worked a lot with honeybees. So where would we be without honeybees? And we wouldn't be here with the flowers without them, so.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it really looks beautiful. I keep saying that. And how long did it actually take to make?
So we did a practice run probably 2 months ago, just to see how many flowers we needed and how long they would last once it was put together, because that's an important piece of art and bloom. You don't want to do an arrangement or interpretation that lasts one day, because the event goes 3.5 days. So it was, I guess a couple hours.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and come check out Odd and Blue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. Before we head to the Motor City with the Tigers taking on the Royals, bottom 7. Dylan Dingler hits one deep to right center. And check out Kyle Isbell from the Royals getting on his horse and making a great sliding catch just before the wall. Also nearly taken out by his teammate. A great catch by Isbell to take away extra bases. That web jam is your must-see moment from Thursday. And Friday on TSN, we've got NBA play-in action as the Warriors battle the Suns for the 8th seed in the West. Coverage begins at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Friday, April 17th. Protecting property and preparing for evacuations. Officials, residents, and volunteers at Peguis First Nation are racing against time and weather as severe flooding looms. Canada Post rolls out permanent changes to the way Canadians receive their mail. How many customers will be affected, and how soon will they start walking to the box? And you may find it hard to believe, but it's actually looking and feeling like spring somewhere. And what better place than the Netherlands during their annual Tulip Festival? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It's 8 o'clock. We've made it to the end of the week. Here we are, indeed. And the Winnipeg Jewish Theatre has a Canadian premiere production. It is called The Ride. We're going to talk about it at 8:15 and find out a little bit more about what makes it so special. It's based on a true story about a woman who biked around the world. So we're going to find out more about that. Fun. And the weather, not many bikes out today because it's so slippery out there.
I mean, if you are a cyclist today, you need to exercise caution, as does everybody, because streets, sidewalks, you name it, they're all so incredibly slick. We were under freezing rain warnings when we came into work this morning. Those have now lifted, but the conditions haven't well, I mean, they've improved somewhat, but you can see we're still dealing with some reduced visibility as those foggy, misty, snowy conditions continue. It's -4 right now. It feels like -11 with a 23 wind out of the northwest. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 93%. Earlier on this morning, when it was like the real worst of the freezing rain, it was like these little ice pellets that were just coming down and sharp. I mean, I was being a little bit dramatic, but I wore my parka today because honestly, they hurt a little bit, especially ding, 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 when they keep hitting your face. Not that my face makes that noise. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, here we go. A look at southeastern Manitoba, where things are still very active through the southeast into northwestern Ontario. The different colors just showing more of that mixed precipitation. Ours is kind of more flurry activity for right now. It'll continue through central Manitoba. You'll notice on the Futurecast today that even once it tapers off here in the south, central Manitoba still likely to deal with this all day long, really. And into the evening time, it kind of wraps around a little bit. Not that that we're going to be seeing too much more. It actually continues to push up into parts of the northeast, and with that wraparound continues to push off to the east. So we will see some clearing then behind it, some sunshine for the weekend, slightly warmer temperatures for the weekend, but slightly. I'm talking, instead of staying below the freezing mark, as we likely will today, we'll get above the freezing mark by 1 or 3 degrees. Next week, though, look at that. It's what we've been waiting for. Looks like we're actually going to look and feel like spring. And maybe some sunshine would help us out. Thank you, Azzy. Love the art that you've shared with us today, and we'd love to see more of what you're working on, so go to our website to submit it, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you submit your art online through the website, you're also entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenaston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
The Peguis First Nation is bracing for what could be devastating flooding from the spring melt.
We know it's coming, but you know, like this place always floods every year.
Volunteers from across the country have joined members of the community to pile up sandbags and build other flood barriers around buildings. Yesterday, Premier Wabkinew called it a race against time during a visit to the First Nation that has been repeatedly plagued by floods in recent years. Another key element of preparations is planning for evacuations. In case snap evacuations are required, tents and teepees are being set up inside Peguis's arena.
Just in case we have evacuees in the middle of the night, so they'll have somewhere to go and sleep, so it won't be so traumatic for the children and the families, and they could just all stay together in the tents.
Peguis First Nation Chief Thunderbird says evacuations could start this weekend. He says beginning that process sooner rather than later could help avoid the panic that has come with previous evacuations. Leaders are still figuring out where evacuees may be sent. No date has been set yet for a second round of talks with Iran, but that isn't stopping President Trump from putting forth an optimistic outlook.
The war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon.
The president suggested it could happen as early as this weekend. Meanwhile, the UK and France will chair a virtual meeting today on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. About 40 countries are expected to take part. Canada Post is starting the preliminary work to convert addresses still getting door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes, as well as phase out some post offices. And some of that work is starting right here in Winnipeg. In a news release, the Crown Corporation says Winnipeg is among 13 communities across Canada where it's beginning discussions to move about 136,000 addresses to community mailboxes late this year and early next year. 16,000 of those addresses are in our city and include the 7 postal codes up on your screen. In total, Canada Post says it's converting about 4 million addresses to community mailboxes, and the work is expected to take about 5 years. It comes amid restructuring as the agency faces significant financial headwinds. It's tulip season in the Netherlands. It lasts about 8 weeks. During that time, 7 million tulips will bloom in a colorful display that attracts visitors from all over the world. Here in Canada, we're familiar with Dutch tulips. The Netherlands sends us 20,000 bulbs every year as a thank you for our help during the Second World War. Here's what's happening now in traffic along the St. James Bridge. Things are moving quite slowly, and as you can see here, and that's because the streets are very slick this morning. You should take your time. Give yourself some extra time when you head out of your home. Let's go now to Polo Park, where our Tandy Vera is live this morning. And it's really going to be a fun event, but also an event that is so important in this community. Hello, Tandy.
Hello, yeah, we're here, Run Your Lungs Out, and I'm joined again by one of the founders, Jonathan. Now, Jonathan, just as a quick reminder, what's happening in the next 24 to 36 hours?
Yeah, so we, for the next 24 hours, starting at 1 p.m. today, around the clock, 24 hours straight to 1 p.m. on Saturday. 24 hours straight. There's no breaks, there's no pauses. We will be here the entire time. Center Court, Polo Park, raising funds for Cancer Care Manitoba. These treadmills behind us are going to get going at 1 o'clock. Every 30 minutes, a new participant's going to hop off and on. Our goal is $150,000 for Cancer Care Manitoba. Right now, we're at $130,000, which is absolutely incredible, and we're so grateful and thankful for that. Like, it's so special. And it's just 24 hours of like electricity. Like, it's an absolute vibe here at Center Court, Polo Park. We have music going. We have all these different partners and vendors coming through. At 10 p.m. and at 11 o'clock, we have spin classes. At 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, we have boot camp classes happening. And again, more money being raised for cancer care, more awareness. We have all these different food vendors and sponsors coming out and giving complimentary food for the participants in our hospitality lounge. We have Stretch Lab and Sonic. They're doing our activations on the other side there for people to stretch out and you know, rest up kind of thing. So it's just a total absolute atmosphere you want to be a part of.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun, packed 24 hours.
Yes.
And there's activities for people to do just in case, because you are sold out for the sign up for running, just as a heads up for people who are interested in running. But you can still come down and do the spin classes, and you can support and donate. What are the ways to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. The ways to donate, the link, maybe you guys will put it up on the screen or share that with the public, but follow us on Instagram, Run Your Lungs Out on Instagram. You'll see all the updates there live for the next 24 hours. There's links on there to donate as well. We have a 50-50 raffle as well through Cancer Care and the event. Honestly, the best way to, if you can, you're able to, come down in person. This is an event that's like so unique, so different, it's so epic, and you really want to be a part of it. Like, it's just a must-see in-person event.
That's amazing. Thank you for joining us this morning, Jonathan. And yeah, come on down to Polo Park and show your support.
All right, Tandy, thank you. He loves them to the moon and back. Astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his colleagues from the Artemis 2 mission were sharing more details Thursday about their historic trip and the forever bond forged in space. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
Historic mission. They traveled more than 400,000 kilometers to the far side of the moon and back, launching as friends, returning as best friends.
We are bonded forever. I mean, that's the closest 4 humans can be and not be a family.
The Artemis 2 crew went further and faster into space than any humans before, capturing the hearts and imagination of the world.
I cannot overstate how important that was to us. It was every bit as important as accomplishing the technical goals and being there for our NASA teammates was to make this the world's mission and for it to have a positive impact on as much of the world as possible.
It was an amazing ride uphill.
The objective of this mission was to test the Orion spacecraft, learn what works and what doesn't, as NASA aims to land on the moon by 2028. Pilot Victor Glover says the spacecraft exceeded his expectations.
It flew like a dream, and I'm really glad everybody got to fly it.
Integrity splashdowns.
The crew has now been home nearly a week, adjusting to life back on Earth.
I sleep a lot better now because I don't have Reed underneath me kicking me.
Oh, come on!
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, who made history as the first Canadian and first non-American to travel to deep space, says he hopes this mission inspires the next generation of astronauts to be bold about their dreams.
Don't do it alone, and share what you're trying to accomplish with others, because you need the support of others to do big things. And so share your goals, be brave enough to share them, and then you'll be surprised how people surround you and lift you up to accomplish them.
The crew's health is still being monitored, and they are conducting exercises at the Johnson Space Center, tasks that will provide valuable information for the next crew that flies in their footsteps. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
All right, believe it or not, this is a huge improvement over a few hours ago when, say, we were coming into work this morning and I made the wrong jacket choice. We're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfit, our exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Mother Nature, she was in her being her most dramatic self, and I stepped up and had to be my most dramatic self, and I wore a parka and winter boots, and I'm like totally regretting that decision, knowing that I'm going to have to walk home, and I'll be sweating when I do, but at least I won't fall over. My winter boots, I still feel like that was perhaps the right choice. The parka, yeah, that might be a little bit excessive, especially now that what was falling earlier this morning has eased and tapered off somewhat. We're sitting at -4, right? A parka, you're like, really, Terry, was that necessary? Seeing similar temperatures all through the south, central and northern Manitoba, it's parka weather up in Churchill, -21 right now, and all of that is before you're factoring in the wind, a wind chill value, and you're feeling in the mid-20s. Minus double digits is what it feels like right now, and it won't improve much. In fact, those winds will be on the stronger side today, but probably a few layers will be good. Not necessarily the big down-filled parka. I was saying earlier I needed that as much for protection because of those ice pellets that were coming. Well, now it's just kind of a little bit of light snow. The bulk of the icy stuff off through parts of northwestern Ontario now. That's the purpley pinks that you're seeing in areas to the east. We'll be seeing this all kind of tapering off within the next few hours. Through the lunchtime, still windy and into the afternoon as well, and the temperature really won't be rising much, topping out at about -3. Double digits easily is where we should be, around 11 degrees. So we'll at least get into the plus digits for the weekend with an improvement with the conditions, some sunshine returning. But it's next week when both the temperatures and the conditions are both looking pretty spectacular. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Equities are pushing higher as speculation grows that a deal to end the war between the U.S. and Iran is getting closer, prompting traders to take on more risk after an extraordinary rally. The TSX is up 6.5% in the past 3 weeks, while south of the border, the S&P 500 is on course for a third week of gains of more than 3%. A stunning reversal following mounting signs that the U.S. and Iran have been looking to de-escalate their conflict that has roiled the energy markets. Optimism over artificial intelligence and robust earnings have added to the momentum. Meanwhile, Brent oil dropped 3.2% towards $96 a barrel. RBC and Scotiabank say they are dropping their 2030 targets for reducing financed emissions as governments pull back on climate action and artificial intelligence drives a surge in energy demand. RBC says after a review, it has concluded that its interim targets are not reasonably achievable. Scotiabank cites factors like the U.S. curbing major parts of the Inflation Reduction Act, Canada eliminating the consumer carbon tax, and not implementing an oil and gas emissions cap, as well as rising energy demand from AI and a lack of progress on carbon capture technology for the change. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
The Canadian premiere of London's West End musical Ride the Musical is coming here to Winnipeg, and it tells the real-life, unbelievable story of Annie Londonderry. She's the first woman to cycle around the world, and it happened back in 1894. The play is hitting the stage at the Winnipeg Jewish Theatre, and joining us now is the artistic director of the Winnipeg Jewish Theatre, Dan Pratenko. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, let's start off by talking about Anne. She has quite a story. Tell us a little bit about why her story is still relevant today, who she is.
Yeah, quite the story is an understatement. Yeah. Annie Londonderry was in 1894 set out to become the first woman to travel all around the world on nothing but a bicycle. It took her, it was a 15-month journey. Wow. She spent the entire time writing stories and sending them back to America about her adventure, and she was a woman who liked to exaggerate and embellish reality. Okay. So a lot of her stories are larger than life. Okay. And so that's why we don't call it the true story of Annie Londonderry. It's the true-ish story.
Okay, I get it.
And it's really a musical about adventure and female empowerment. But it's also this record-breaking athlete who defied all barriers as a woman at the time, and as an immigrant, and went on this grand adventure that went down in the history books.
And so the audience will laugh, they will want to sing along. Will they cry?
They'll cry. There are some heart-wrenching moments for sure, and the score is this beautiful pop rock score that took London's West End by storm, and we're so glad to be presenting it to audiences here.
And so it was a huge success in London. It hit North America and San Diego, huge success there as well. What does it mean to the Winnipeg Jewish Theatre to have it here as a Canadian premiere here in Winnipeg?
Well, the Winnipeg Jewish Theatre is only one of 2 Jewish theaters in the country. Okay. We're very lucky to have this institution in this city, and we're very lucky to be a platform of telling Jewish stories like the one of Annie Londonderry. Yep. And I think over the last couple of years, many people in the Jewish community and other minority groups have grappled with the question, where do we feel like home? Where do we feel, how do we feel like we belong? And that's the central question that Annie asks on her 15-month cycle. So I think that for the Jewish community and for anybody else who comes and has been wondering, how do we make sure that we still feel like we belong in our communities, in our country, in our neighborhoods? That's going to be something that you'll walk away continuing to question, and maybe you'll find some answers.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Okay, well, tell us about the performers that are a part of this production.
Oh, we are so lucky. We have two powerhouses leading this production. Berkeley Silverman, who comes to us from Toronto, and the local, incredibly talented Colleen Ferlin. And the show is directed and choreographed by Lisa Stevens, who has worked on the West End in London, in New York, and all over this country.
Cool.
So it's really the dream
caliber.
team. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so you had a preview last night.
Yes.
How did the audience respond?
Better than any of us could have expected.
Really?
Yep, and we're opening tomorrow. We've got a 3-week run ahead of us, and we've just added an additional performance because tickets are just flying off the shelf.
Oh my
so
gosh, that's amazing.
May 1st, we've added another show.
And what will the audience really get from this?
Well, they'll leave questioning, and I think that questioning their own identity, how to be proud of their identity, and I hope that they take away some of the earworms that are in this show. Some of those songs are going to be stuck in your head for days, for sure.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Of course, if you want more information, we have a link on our website. Still tickets available, right?
Yes, some.
Very little, so get on it while you can. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Rochelle.
All right, still just hanging out under the hood. It's snow, but there's little pelts still. Not quite the icy pellets that were swinging at us sideways or blowing at us sideways earlier on this morning when I was being so dramatic and complaining about it. But now kind of a mix of flurries and some ice. -4 is where we're sitting. It feels like -11 with a 21k wind out of the northwest. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 90%. And yeah, there is still some mixed precipitation that we're dealing with and likely will over the next few hours. And boy, has it ever stacked up on the streets. We're looking at a couple of centimeters, I should say, probably 2, maybe 3 centimeters of icy pellets, I guess. That's the only way I could describe it. Out on the streets and sidewalks, so very, very slick for both motorists and pedestrians. Keep that in mind today. This should all taper off within the next few hours, but the improvements won't be great today, certainly not with the temperatures. Yes, we might see the conditions improve with the precipitation ending and the clouds sticking around, but staying below the freezing mark when we should be well into the double digits this time of year, around 11 degrees being seasonal. We'll improve slightly for the weekend, more so with the conditions than the temperatures. At least we'll get the sunshine back, but barely above freezing for both Saturday and Sunday. However, next week looking spectacular. Mid-teen temperatures are expected, and all of this snow will probably be mud again, but right now, little Willow could roll in this snow and maybe clean off a bit. Thanks for sharing this with us. Put a smile on my face. Keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
A new learning lab blending Indigenous cultural teachings with a creative edge is now open in Winnipeg.
It feels like a safe space to be in, and just being in here and having things near you that you could be around and make things easily. I feel like it seems better than to be in an actual class learning it.
The lab is based out of R.B. Russell Vocational School and is the only public education space of its kind in the province. It's built for hands-on, project-based learning and comes equipped with tools which support design, fabrication, textile work, and digital media.
The lab was created through the input from students, from community, from different partners and organizations. We have many Indigenous and non-Indigenous entrepreneurs and artisans that will come and support the lab as well. So it's beyond the lab, it's a safe space, it's a welcoming space for creativity, and beyond that, the partnerships through the community make it special.
The space is currently in its first phase of operation and will be adding more technological tools in the coming year. Meet Bubba. He's a fancy, fancy dog.
Good boy. No, that's a phone.
He was one of the guests at the Petit Salon at Baccarat Hotel, New York this week. They're launching a new partnership with the D Diamond New York, which is a fine jewelry label that makes handcrafted gold and diamond collars and charms for dogs. This collab allows guests to book private in-room consultations to commission these bespoke pieces, because why should luxury be exclusive to humans?
Good morning. If you're exploring Art in Bloom this weekend, there is more to see just beyond the galleries. Shop WAG has featured some special curated flower-themed pieces. And joining me now is Sherry. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning.
Now, how does Art in Bloom tie in with Shop WAG?
Well, just as the galleries begin to bloom, so does the shop. We've worked with about at least 10 different artists, local and just outside, to curate different floral collections.
That's amazing. And what are some of the pieces people can grab?
Well, let's start with the ones that you're wearing. Just outside of the shop, we'll be opening a fresh flower earring stand featuring the earrings of Tamara Bavdak of This Silk, a Montreal designer. And over here you can see they're essentially shepherd's hook earrings with clips. So we'll have a variety of fresh blooms to choose from, and visitors can pick whether they want silver clips, gold, short, long, and we'll fasten the fresh flowers to the clips and they can dangle from their ears.
That's such a fun feature and so beautiful too. I love my own earrings right now. Yeah, and what else can people grab if they're interested? I see some books as well.
Yeah, there's a great selection of publications, some kids' books, a felted fleur installation by Margaret Jane Design in our window here, a collection of 44 acrylic paintings by local artist Amanda Onchelenko, featuring, of course, her fabulous florals. What else? Handbags from the local brand Collier TJN, and beaded earrings from Bronwyn Butterfield, Lucy Lindell, so much.
Just so much to see and so much beautiful things to see, including your own earrings as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, just stop by with the WAG, stop by Shop at the WAG and grab some beautiful real flower earrings. Very happy about that. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We have a traffic alert to share with you now. A collision is blocking the northbound median lane on Osborne and Corden, so there are significant delays all the way back to Jubilee in this part of the city. We'll be back after this short break.
All right, Mother Nature hit us with winter again this morning. -4. It's a cool start to your day, but it feels more like -11. That's because of that wind. 21 clicks out of the northwest. The pressure is rising. The humidity sitting at 90%. If you're just getting up, you've probably missed the worst of it, but peek outside and you'll see what's left behind. Little ice pellets all over the lawns and streets. Very, very slick conditions. We did have freezing rain warnings a few hours back that have now lifted, but you can still see the activity on the satellite image easing somewhat, but still, for the most part, still quite active, and all of the different colors into parts of northwestern Ontario. Well, all of that purple was right over Winnipeg earlier this morning. That was what was the worst of it, the slickest, if you will. Now it's mostly snow with just a few ice pellets tucked in there. That'll continue on for the next few hours, eventually tapering off. It'll be moving through central Manitoba and up into the northeast later on today, but tapering here in the south with just some clouds lingering. A high of -3, so we're not even cracking the freezing mark today, let alone getting anywhere near what is normal for this time of year. In fact, even normal low temperatures would be around -1, and we're still going to stay below that today, dropping even further overnight down to -9. But conditions improve. The clouds begin to clear. The winds really don't ease much. They're still going to be strong tomorrow, but a little more sunshine, not a lot more heat. 1 degree expected. Still Sunday, pretty cool, well below seasonal, getting up to 3 degrees, but surpassing that seasonal 11 with some mid-teens or even low 20s, with plenty of sunshine as we're looking ahead to next week.
Thompson RCMP are asking for the public's help to find a missing 15-year-old female. Police say they received a report on Wednesday that Bailey Burton Greaves was last seen April 10th in Thompson. They added attempts to reach her at various addresses in Thompson have proven unsuccessful so far. RCMP and her family are concerned for her well-being. Bailey is about 5 feet 3 inches tall with a slender build, long brown straight hair with bangs and brown eyes. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Bailey Burton Greaves is asked to call Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909 or Crime Stoppers. Winnipeg fire crews were kept busy Thursday evening with a blaze in the Nyaqua Place neighborhood. Our CTV News camera shows several WFPS vehicles involved in firefighting operations at a home on Fallbrook Bay. According to the city's online emergency response log, the call-out came at around 7:20 p.m. The city says the fire involved 2 outdoor sheds. 2 adjacent houses sustained damage due to fire spread. No injuries were reported. Amid rising expenses, Amazon's new fuel surcharge is set to take effect today. To have Amazon pick, pack, and deliver their goods, sellers will pay a 3.5% surcharge. The online retailer says it felt the charge was necessary to help cover their rising fuel costs. But the company says it won't be something passed on to the consumer. Sandbags are replacing snow shovels in communities fighting back spring floods, a heavy snowpack that is quickly melting. And torrential rains mean at least 3 provinces are watching rising waters or wading through submerged roadways. CTV's Adrian Gabriel shows us the battles being fought before, during, and after these floods.
An Ontario road washed away. A raging wall of water in Quebec as a rush of flood warnings blanket the neighboring provinces.
The sort of wild card factor is Mother Nature, and it's just been raining incessantly.
A dense Ontario snowmelt and heavy rain has pushed water levels to their max. Further south, multiple communities are bracing for the worst.
Here in Minden, Ontario, this is the current situation. Some trucks are driving down this road that's been washed out, trying to get to some homes to help individuals. Beside me is the Gull River. You can see this tree. Well, below that tree is a little parkette that used to sit beside the riverbank. Take a peek at this house beside us. Sandbags line the garage, though we're told that inside the damage has already been done.
As of yesterday, we had 15,000 sandbags filled.
With the help of community volunteers, Lori Penny is doing what she can to save her auto shop.
This has never flooded here, but apparently it's going to go up 2 to 3 feet. We always kind of step up when people need help.
It's all hands on deck in Peterborough. Water levels along the Trent Severn waterway are rising, as are concerns. In Laval, Quebec, the banks of the Mille-Île River have been breached, with homes now at risk. And in nearby St. Jerome, the pace of this rushing river indicates just how high water levels have risen. Back in rural Ontario, park benches are beginning to disappear, and there's a fear some bridges may be next. You can see to the north of your community just how high the water levels are. It's heading this way. What is your concern this hour?
We have limited resources, and you can't expend them all and risk people's lives to save somebody who did not take the warning.
Many are quickly learning of nature's brute force.
Here in Minden, approximately 15 people have already been evacuated. They're sending 150 beds to the local community center, and officials here and across multiple provinces and communities are reminding the public to follow evacuation orders and road closures. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Minden, Ontario.
We have a traffic alert to tell you about right now. There's a collision blocking the northbound and eastbound curb lanes on Ellis at Arlington. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please send us a text at 10400. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.70, which is down from yesterday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.57, the same at 3 gas stations. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today we asked, are you usually on time or late for events? A viewer shared, always on time. I can't even be late on purpose. I'm usually early 15 minutes, says Susan. Marlene is always early for events. She doesn't like ever to be late. Margaret and Sean shared, we are usually late, but the appointments we go to are usually kind enough to sign us in. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're late, texted Barb. Kim says, I am usually late. My family makes fun, and now they tell the time for an event an hour before it starts, so I'm there early. Guy and Liette shared, I'm the guy who goes to the airport 3.5 hours before every flight. My wife would go 2 hours before. Dave says, I've always told kids I coach, if you're 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. Almost always on time, shared a viewer. I like to leave room for error. My grandma instilled that in me. Elaine is usually about 10 minutes early, rarely late. Craig always tries to be early to events. He was told, if you're 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. And Debbie says, always on time or early. It's rude being late. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go back now to Tandy Vera, who's live at CF Polo Park this morning. There will be runners there later today. Good morning, Tandy.
Good morning. I'm joined by Cindy. I keep messing up this morning, and she keeps correcting me, and we got to get it right.
All good.
Thank you for joining us this morning. You're the owner of Orange Theory Fitness.
Yes, I am.
And you decided to take part this year. Why was that?
Well, we've been part of the Run Your Lungs Out in years past, but we decided to take it to just a bit of a different level. We've had experience personally with cancer in our studio, with our studio manager having a struggle in 2024. My dad's dealing with it now. I mean, this is not just about one person. This is about a community of people that need our support. And so we decided to take it to a little bit of a different level when Run Your Lungs Out sold out so quickly by opening up our treadmills and hopefully getting, them filled. So from 1 till 7 p.m. tonight, our treadmills will be going every single hour, and we've almost got them full. But not just that, we also have opened up our strength floor so people can actually come and lift their lungs out as well if running is just not their jam. So we wanted to build this opportunity so that more people could come get involved. We could raise more money because we have a big goal this year, right? $150,000. So we're going to get there, and we're going to help them get there. So that's really the reason behind our whole little satellite experience.
And I love that. And I love that you've opened it up for other people who couldn't get the spots because they filled up so quick, which is good. It's a good thing. And how else can people support, and as well as you have something going on tomorrow morning?
Yes, we're going to be here tomorrow morning. We're going to be your cheer zone tomorrow. So anybody that's on those treadmills, get ready for some Orange Theory cheering sections. So that will be tomorrow morning between sort of 9 and 1. But if anybody wants to get involved at our studio because they missed the opportunity to do it here, come on down. We can get you to call us at 204-808-9794, and we'll share with you the opportunities for you to take a spot on the treadmill or on the weight floor. And or you can just go and donate to our page, which is Orange Theory Winnipeg, and our link is in our bio on our Instagram page, which is Orange Theory Fitness Taylor.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate
absolutely.
it.
There's so many more ways for you to support. So sign up, join in with the fun, and just support a good cause this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe even just go and cheer them on when you go to the mall. All right. Thank you, Tandy. All right, let's go out to the rooftop now where our Terry is this morning. How's it feeling out there?
So I've still got the hood up. I stepped out here because I couldn't see anything. I was like, oh, I think it stopped. And I stepped out here. I was like, oh, no, it's just rain now. But that's an improvement over snow, I suppose. What you're going to find on the ground is it's like those little silicone pebbles. You know when you get those little packages and it's supposed to keep things dry? Well, there's nothing dry about this, but it is like little tiny beads, all of the ice from the freezing rain that fell earlier on this morning, and now a little bit of rain that is falling on top of all of that. -4 is where we're sitting right now. A below seasonal start to the day. It's going to stay below seasonal all weekend long, so lower those expectations. It's going to be cool. But it will improve as far as the conditions go. We're going to deal with the clouds lingering even once the rain stops. The winds, though, will only get stronger likely. They're 21 clicks right now out of the northwest. The pressure rising, the humidity at 90%. Those winds at times today could be gusting to about 50 kilometers per hour. Still strong winds overnight and throughout tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, though, like I said, the conditions will improve. We'll see some sunshine back for the weekend. Just not a lot of heat. Just barely above the freezing mark is where we'll likely be Saturday and Sunday. But next week, beautiful. I'm talking mid-teen temperatures and sunshine to go with it. We're taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Good morning. Sharing too much online can be dangerous, and often we don't even know we're doing it. So some students at the study in Westmount have built an app that flags those risks before we post. CTV's Sweeta Rassi reports.
Smile.
It's a perfectly ordinary photo of these teenage girls, but watch what happens when it goes through their app.
This image has a lot of risks.
Something you probably didn't even notice. The students have their school crest on their uniforms, and that small detail can be used by strangers online to figure out where they are. So the girls came up with a solution, an app called Safe Trace. Zinyi Zhang is the co-creator.
The AI analyzes potential risks and personal information that can be revealed from the image.
Built by these 5 students at the study, the app doesn't just flag the risks, it fixes them too. Using AI, it scans the pictures and alerts users to anything that could reveal locations or personal information. From there, it's up to the user to decide what they want to remove. And in seconds, the app provides the safe version of the photo.
Say you have a public account and you upload it, people can dox you because they can use this address and say, oh, you live on this street, you live in this city.
The students created the app as a way to prevent anyone from being a victim of doxing, which is the malicious act of sharing someone's private information online. According to the governments of Canada, women are more often targeted than men, and 1 in 3 young women have experienced some form of online harassment. Amelia Leogis is the director of IT.
My hope is that we can show that young girls can change the world.
A free app made by these students to keep all women safe. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
From our jackets, footwear, and even mittens, many pieces of clothing we wear today were designed for survival in this climate and this land. That technology was largely built on ancient indigenous knowledge that came before the fashion runways of Paris and New York. A live art installation Saturday called The Edit breaks down a garment's different layers to discover its role and connection to First Nations history. And joining us now is garment anthropologist Sekinat Balogun and her model Ololade. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Ololade, if you could wave. Hello, there you are. All right, let's talk about your title, your role. You're a garment anthropologist. Tell me what that is.
It means that I study garments and the interaction with a garment in a city or in a province or in a country. And what is garment supposed to do? I study that. I want to know why. So if we are dressed in a certain way, I want to know why we're dressed that way, not just to look pretty. So I started to dig in, and that's how I got here.
So you're looking at ancient wear,
yes.
You're looking at today's?
Pre-colonialism. I'm looking at what did it mean to them back then? What was garment to them? Was it about fashion or was it about survival?
And what do you find often when you look at some of the pieces that come from Canada's history? Are you finding it was more fashion or was it functionality?
Oh, functionality, actually. And I did go way back. I did study what it felt like back then, surviving in Winnipeg, Manitoba, minus 35, minus 40. Yeah. It's not about looking pretty, it's about how to survive day to day. And I realized that they did build an engineering system that actually go farther than what we're actually wearing today, which means that whatever they built back then is what we're doing today. So the engineering and the knowledge that they had laid there as a foundation is what we've built on.
So we're actually still using the technology from thousands of years ago?
100%.
Okay, so give me an example of something like that.
I would say the mukluk, the shoes.
Yeah.
I have used the mukluk shoes, and I've also used other shoes that I've imported from other part of the world, and also other shoes that some people make. And I realized that the mukluk, the engineering that goes into that shoe, is perfect, wonderful. If you want to survive Winnipeg, Manitoba, that's the shoe to wear.
And why? What is it about it that's so perfect?
The engineering, how they layered the fitting of the shoe, how to keep your feet warm so that you don't have to have frostbite. Everything that they put into that is what we're still using today.
That's incredible,
yes.
That they learned the hard way, probably,
yes.
and then engineered something that they would never have to freeze again.
Yes.
Okay, and so this art installation that you're doing, this is happening on Saturday.
Yes, it is.
It's called The Edit.
The Edit.
So our model here, not doing much at this point, but what will happen? You don't want to give it all away. So what will happen during the live art installation?
Thank you. If you look at my model, you would see that this person is going about their day to survive. And this was how the indigenous built the system. They had a jacket, and they also had, my mother has a jacket, and he also has a ski pants. This was how they built it back then to ensure that from the foot to your lower body, and from your lower body to your upper body, you're covered. Because if anything happens anywhere, even with the head area, you're done.
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't about looking pretty, it was about survival, how to survive. So on Saturday, we would shed this layer. we
slowly peeling the layers.
Everything. So you would see the functionality of everything.
That is fascinating.
Yes.
I love history. So you're not only delving into the history of the land, but also the history of how clothing was fabricated, which is fascinating on so many different levels. You've sold many tickets already. What do you want people to know? How can they go check this out for themselves?
So if you go on Instagram, Arkevo, ARKHEVO, you would find the brand, and then you can also purchase a ticket on Eventbrite so that you can come experience fashion as survival, structure, and what it felt like to survive -35, -40 weather back in those days.
That's incredible. Again, you do have tickets available. So where is it happening?
Affiliate Lofts, 296 McDermott.
Okay.
Downtown Exchange District, right there.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see a model. Do you see a model? Actually, do you know where you would see that model? It would have been outside this morning in all that swirling snow. Not just properly dressed for it, but it would actually stand out against the white. All right, -4, -11 though is what it feels like with that wind out of the northwest, 21 kilometers per hour, the pressure rising, the humidity at 90%. Yes, snow still coming down right now. You can see it here on the satellite image. It was the freezing rain that was falling in these little icy pellets earlier on this morning. We were under a freezing rain warning that has now lifted, and I say it's still snowing. It's actually more rain out there, to be honest. When I was upstairs on the rooftop, that was what I was noticing. But this will continue on through the morning hours, then moving into central Manitoba the rest of the day. We should see it tapering off, but it won't be warming up. -3 is likely as good as it gets as far as the temperature goes, and you can couple in a strong wind on top of that, not just today, but throughout the weekend. The weekend will see some improvements with the temperatures, just not with the numbers. The numbers will be improving, though, on the other side for next week. We're taking a break. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, we're going to send you off into the weekend, but first we'll show you some fun video. Have you ever woken up on a Sunday and rushed to get to work thinking it was Monday? I've done this, I think. This guy pranked his roommate to do just that. Check this out.
I'm going to see if I can convince my roommate that today is Sunday and see if I can get him to get up and go to work tomorrow, which he'll think is Monday, but is actually Sunday. He's been off work for a week. His sense of time is skewed, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
When the roommate is in the shower, he changed the date on his iPhone. Later that night, he watched SNL. He tells the roommate he's going to church and even pretended to be watching the Sunday night game. What would you do if someone went to such great lengths to prank you?
To ruin your last day off?
I'd probably get a new roommate. And do you have a secret?
I'd be digging a grave.
Oh, the extreme.
I know what? Sorry.
And do you have a secret talent nobody knows about, Terry?
Oh, just my clover tongue. Hang on.
Well, this couple's daughter came home from school and told her parents she entered the talent show for playing the piano, but she's never played piano in her life. They're pretty amused and very supportive. Let's hope it's a hidden talent.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you were going to talk about your talent? See, my tongue has a talent. I'm not sure I want it. I can touch my nose with my tongue.
Can you? Let's see it.
Yes.
Oh, look at you. Look at us with our party tricks.
And then we have no more. So that's it. You just got party tricks to wrap up the show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.